Yes. We are live. I know it's a late one, but it's gonna be a good one. G's in the building. Obviously, your boy Enz is in the building. We're just chilling, bro. Chill zone. Um, Not a lot to kind of discuss today, but a few little bits. Maybe like a little recap about yesterday. We'll check and see what's going on in the Premier League, seeing where we are in the table. Are we still top, man? I don't know. Some sections will say we're not. What's the reasons why we keep dropping these points now in the Premier League? 2 games without a win, conceded 5 goals in our last 2 games as well. We'll speak about Salah hitting club 100 now in terms of assists. And yeah, man, just to hear what you guys think in the comments. I'll try my best to get to as many comments as possible when me and G kind of pause in terms of our conversation. But G in the building, appreciate you jumping in, bro. To be fair, because it was so late, I was like, I ain't even gonna bug the man them tonight. It's a late one, you know what I mean? Man them probably feeling snugged up with the missus, want to relax. So but I appreciate the message, bro, to say jumping, because I was just gonna chop it up with the chat, do a little Q&A thing and vibe out, to be fair, man. But before we go, my bro Ski, big up to Luke in the building. Bless up the man them. Hopefully you can catch it live later. But my little one has arrived Tuesday, got to see. Little one, did you have a new, was it baby in the building? Oh, congrats, man.
Big up,
congrats,
man. Big up.
Yeah, that's good, man. Hey, I was thinking the other day, G, bro. I don't know about you, but keep seeing babies everywhere, man. I don't know. Maybe.
Listen, man. I keep telling people, listen.
Maybe it's time again. I don't know.
Big up, Luke. Obviously, you say your baby just arrived. Listen, December babies. Nah, I've learned my lesson now.
Okay, I see.
I'm next time I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn and understand that. Yeah, I mean, I start conceiving at different times of the year because this isn't working out for me. I can't lie to you. Still, it's not working, bro. It's expensive this month, Hey,
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I realize how expensive it is. It's not like I haven't. I've done it, but when you have two, and the older they get, that means the variation. It's no longer. Let's get some Lego bricks. It's no longer.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we need laptops and we need blah blah. And I'm like, yo, okay, all right, say less, man. We can, you know what I mean? Whatever we can get, we'll get. If not, yeah, blood, you might have to just drink some water, bro. Going forward, blood. That's all it is.
You got to drink some water, and you know what? Use your imagination and that. You know what I mean?
Drink some water, man, and relax, bro. Because you wanted a laptop, and you don't want a normal laptop. You're telling me about MacBook Pros and. You want the bag 2 things. Okay, I hear it, man. Plus insurance, because you fucking end up, doing something stupid with it. So
that's the killer. It's when you think about it, yeah. I'm not just buying the whatever laptop, console, bro. I've got to get insurance because I know, as N said, bro, you're gonna break it.
You're gonna break
it stupid way, bro. You're not gonna look after it. So I'm gonna have to be the one who's gonna, in 4 months' time, yes, I need to replace this one. I need to get a new one, bro. And insurance ain't cheap, It's not cheap.
Nah, big up, man. Seamus as well. Liverpool was unbelievable in the second half yesterday. No other Premier League club comes back and get that result from Liverpool. Predicament against Fulham. I think I've seen other teams do it, but we are kings of comeback. We are kings of when Anfield is rocking, we cook still. Christian in the building as well. Big up to you. Honestly, love for the love, man. Man, just threw the man them links in the building, bro. Big up, bro. Love for the love, man. As always, bro. Yeah, do you know it's magic? Over the last 2 days, I've been chopping it up with honesty and scraps in it. Right? Them man, they've been killing me, boy. So the conversation we've been having, boy. Hey, listen, I'll keep it behind closed doors conversation. But yeah, Chelsea done. Hey, okay, man only comes around when Chelsea wins the game. I see you, broski. I see you. I ain't seen you comment in the chat in a minute, but bless up to you as well, bro. I ain't seen him about, man. Shit, Savages in the building. I thought man would have been, snuggled up in that. Big up, Sav. Let me know, man, if you're about. I didn't send it out to anyone really because I didn't know, man. It was late thing. Want to bug the man them on a late one. Might be, snugged up in that. Big up, Luke, man. Big up and congrats to the, the newborn.
Congratulations, man. Big time.
Big up, man. Alexander in the building as well, man. Says big up. So Chelsea winning the league after 1 game. Interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. But without further ado, man, Liverpool 2, Fulham 2. my overall thoughts, man. It was an uphill battle, bro. We concede first, player sent off, and from that point, you're just like, just salvage whatever you can salvage in it. Do you know how mad it is? I think yesterday's game, if we wasn't 1-0 down and we got a player sent off, I just think we just win. I just think we win, and we're like, raw. How did we even win that one? But yeah, it wasn't to be, man. It wasn't to be, and I felt most of the players played outstanding yesterday. Partly because they know they had to. But yeah, some in my opinion didn't play well at all. Not I say not well at all. I think they just had lower standards than some of the other ones, man. At this point in the season as well, if this is the kind of blip that we're going through, it is what it is, isn't it? We'll just take it, bro. But conceding 5 goals though in the last 2 Prem games, that's a hell of a lot of goals, bro. Because you know the last time I looked at clean sheet, the goal difference thing, we was on 6, and I'm like, all right, Liverpool, maybe we can do the 11 thing by the end of the season. I felt like the defense was that strong. Boy, how was I wrong, bro? In the last 2 games, 5 goals conceded. But what was your kind of take on the game? I don't even know if we chopped it up after or not, bro. I feel like it's been no, we did on Husam's channel.
Oh,
we didn't really chop it up, innit? Yeah, we didn't chop it up. It was just more around the table.
Yeah. Like I said, man, before the game, I said, yo, like Fulham, they're gonna be a tricky team, man. And they're a good team. They're a good team, man. And yeah, I did think though, yeah, maybe if it stayed 11, you know what I mean? Obviously, we'll never know now, innit? Like, but if it stayed 11, probably do just kind of just win the game. But Fulham, I thought Fulham were good. I can't lie. I thought Fulham, they picked their moments pretty well. I said this yesterday. I said I think like Fulham will feel more disappointed with that draw than we would, because there was that spell, yeah, when we went down to 10 men, bro, and everyone was just everywhere. Obviously, Arneslot's still trying to get a few players. He's trying to figure it out, like who should play here. And obviously, he had like Cody Gakpo playing like left wing back at one stage, at the beginning of that. Still trying to put Gravenberch into centre back. And Fulham, it's like I said, bro, they're getting too excited. You know, when you get 2 haps, like you think, oh, bro, let me score. It's like everyone's trying to score, and this Pereira's taking shots when he should just be passing the ball. You know, that they're finding so many gaps. And I said, as soon as they don't do that, I said, yeah, Liverpool's one of them teams, man. At Anfield, it gets long for you, bro. Like, I don't care if you got 8 men. Do you know what I mean? Like, Liverpool is just long when you get the crowd going, and then the players start feeling that, like that kind of energy. Bro, and that's literally exactly what happens, man. But I'm with you though in terms of yeah, I didn't feel like certain players played that well, but obviously narratives have gotta go the way they've got to go. Do you know what I mean? So people are gonna say certain man did well and this, that, and the third. I didn't think that many players played that well. You know, obviously I guess we'll talk about some of them, but yeah, I didn't think like the team in general played that well. Yes, you're down to 10 men, you get the draw, but you could easily have lost that game, man. I can't lie to you, bro. Like that could have gone another way, boy. And on another day, whew, techie.
Yeah, you know what it was, man. If we don't really start, games that well for some reason, bro. I don't know what it is. It's like I can't put my finger on it either. Pause. It's just like you go into the game, you're like the boys look fired up. They're in the tunnel. They come out, and you're like the Anfield crowd is there. You're at home. You're like, bro, just slaughter these, man. String all them passes together. Make it nice, crisp, sharp. Get chances. You know, put them on the back foot early, and then we just do these man just come in and just try and rush us early, bro. I don't even understand. Like, it's not like we've been losing games, right? So I'm like, shouldn't these men start fearing us now? Like realizing, but it feels like with Liverpool, everyone just wants to take a scalp out of us. They just want to, I want to beat. Oh, we beating Liverpool, and I feel like beating us. What I've seen, it feels like most teams want to beat us more than the other teams. I'm like, so you don't want to beat the other teams like the Man City? When you take more pride out beating Man City than Liverpool? Nah, bro. I don't know where that comes from, but that's how it feels to me at times when I'm watching us, bro. It feels like everyone comes to our ground now, and it feels like, yeah, we can go and beat this team. And I'm like, we've lost 1 game. Why do you feel you can come here and do this?
I agree. I definitely agree. Honestly, ends, man. I just think it's the way that we play. We've got that style of play that entices people. Like it will make you think like, yo, like Nah, you know what? Yeah, they're kind of open at the back, or they're kind of open in the middle of the park. Like we can exploit that, and that's why I think that when you a team like I was saying this to my boy yesterday, when you face Arsenal, yeah, I feel like they're very very solid. Like they're just in nature. Like forget how many goals they've conceded, whatever. Their normal state is just a solid unit, and they make it so difficult for you to get. Like we saw the game against Everton. If those who watched it, like Everton didn't have, there's no chances. You can't really get chances against Arsenal like that. But then when you face against Liverpool, I feel like because of how we actually just naturally play, it's it entices people. Yeah, I mean that's why I feel like we can kill teams off in like 2 minutes. Get a goal, bang, and then the game's done because we play in a way where it's like, yeah, no, we trust what we can do, which is great because we're doing well. As you said, we lost one game, but on the flip side of it, we're gonna give you maybe a few chances potentially, almost that full sense of security. And I'm like, yeah, you guys just need to just cool it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like just be a bit more rigid in the way that you're playing. But hey, man, listen, I'm not the manager in it. I can't speak for him.
Well, you know, a couple of things that happened in the game yesterday. I'll get to the Mo Salah one. But obviously red card to Robbo. And I saw, obviously, I don't know if you saw Gary Lineker's quotes on it, or from not match of the day, but it was just quotes he had about the foul, and he didn't think it was a red card because it was not like Harry Wilson was clean through. He didn't deny him a goal scoring opportunity. The touch was mad heavy. He literally touched it across the Virgil, and Virgil would have just picked that up. So it should have been a yellow card. Then we had a couple of, you know, I don't know what you make of them in terms of fouls, yellow cards, red cards. One on Robbo really high, and then the other one, Pereira on Gravenberch.
You see the that's Robbo, yeah, Robbo one. What did he get for that?
Yellow card.
Yeah, I'm inclined to go with that one. It's more the bottom one that I'm looking at. I'm like,
you don't think that one,
like,
bro? That's in his knee, bro. That's in his knee. I get what you mean
but because of the pace that it was going at, that's why, from what I can remember of it, I don't know. Like, I feel like there was no real intent with that one, if that makes sense. Whereas the bottom one, I'm not saying players go out there intentionally try, hurt man. But the bottom one is that's dangerous play, bro. Like, look at it. Like,
you can definitely snap his ankle, snap his leg in that position.
Bro, your ankle could go missing after that, bro. Whereas the other one, I'm like, I'm not saying you could maybe say it's a little bit dangerous, but not really enough for me to be like, red card, if that makes, like, if the referee already given a yellow, I can see why maybe VAR may not look at that one. So that one I was kind of cool with anyway. It was more the second one, because I didn't see that. When I saw, like, obviously I saw the challenge, obviously I've not seen it, what's happened, and then I've seen the replay. I was like, oh no, he's off, he's 100% off. Yes, bro, like look at the whole still. Like, there's even, I know people say, oh, don't slow it down because it looks worse, bro. You don't have to slow it down, just see the challenge. Once you've seen the challenge, it has to be a red card. So that's where I was like, nah, man, he has to go off, bro.
Like, so them watching that back on like VAR, and look, it's not, it's not about moaning and maybe the decision changes the result. No, don't care. I think a draw is on a fair result. Maybe Robbo being on the pitch, okay, we was already losing 1-0 at that point anyway. Maybe we'll go on and win it 2-1. I don't know. But they scored 2 and we scored 2. So I think on hand it's a fair result. But we're just looking at the difference in situations. One got a red card. I don't think it was a goal scoring opportunity. But cool, they're giving it. He's gone off. But how can you watch these two in particular decisions? You're just sitting on VAR and you go, all right, let's run it back. See if, maybe we made a clear and obvious mistake. And I'm not saying every tackle is a red card, because not every tackle is intentional. But these two in particular was definitely a bad challenge. That the bottom one is a mad one, because you're nowhere near the ball. So what are you reaching for?
Yeah.
Apart from trying to stop or injure the player, or let's say stop the player, and you've caught him in a position where you shouldn't. The Robbo one, the ball's there, you're trying to play it a bit high. The ref can probably go maybe his discretion, but VAR looking back at that and going, if he plants his right leg there and he steps across him, bro, Robbo could be out for the whole season as well.
Yeah, it's and I think that's where I was like, I feel like there would have been too many. It's like too many if buts, if that makes sense. Like, as in, we would have had to have if he put his right leg. Whereas, bro, the bottom one, there's no if, bro. Like, as in, his leg is there. He has fully put his foot into my man's. I'm sure that's Gravenberch.
That's in it. That's on his Achilles, but the side of his foot. So that's the one where you're pushing against the position where he shouldn't be. So you're pushing against the side of his. That's you can snap man's legs doing that.
Oh, you can. Like I said, I thought, yo, that should have been a red card when I saw it. Because, like I said, at first I didn't really. I was thinking, what's all the hoo-ha? Then I saw it. I was like, oh, he has to be off, bro. Like that's a bit mad, no? But listen, man, it's these officials, man. You know what it is? At this point, I'm kind of happy that the officials remain this inconsistent, because that shows a level of consistency, if that makes it. Like, as that's weird as it sounds.
I hear what you mean, because that shows that they're consistently inconsistent.
They're consistently inconsistent. So it's like, at least they're just being inconsistent with what they're doing, and they're consistent at doing it. So I'm just like, yeah, bro, sometimes they're going to give it, sometimes they're not going to give it. But the problem that you have is that, I know someone just mentioned in the chat that, Curtis Jones, this, that, and the other. It's probably not even the same thing. Like, bro, I keep saying it. I know this sounds silly, but I bring it back to basketball. Bro, you need to make the rules so that they're literally very, very... In basketball, if the ball hits your foot, no matter whether it's an accident or not, it makes no difference. It's the other team's ball. Simple. That there's no like, but I didn't mean to kick it. Obviously, you don't mean to kick it. You play basketball with your hands, bro. Like, we know you don't mean to kick it, but you kicked it. So guess what? The other team gets the ball straight away. Football, I'll be real. The only way you're going to be able to stop this discretion stuff is to have it exactly like that. Otherwise, bro, remember, you're leaving it down to officials. These man, as much as we hate to say it, but they're human. So they might look at it and think, nah, I don't know, man. Like, you ends might look at that and say, nah, that's a red card. Next man might look at that and say, I don't know if I'll give a red card. You see, when you've now already got two people in the same situation, got two different opinions, we're fucked. we're already done. So that's why I'm like, when I see these stuff nowadays, I'm like, unless it is blatant, like that second one there, then I get mad. Otherwise, I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is, man.
Big up to Luke in the chat as well. He said, what do you man think about Gomez? So do you man think the Gomez one was a pen? Yeah, bro.
You think that was a pen?
Nah, do you know why it's a pen, right? Because you have to be so not aware of what's going on around you that a guy could run into your space and he literally did some moon. I don't even know what you call that move yet. Threw him over his knee. I know initially he's going to try and block the shot from Cody. I know that. I know that's what he's doing. But the fact is, regardless, bro, you can't be tackling man like that in the box.
No, it's
unaware challenge in the box. That's what I felt he did. He was like, I'm going to block it, but here's what I'm doing. I'm throwing him out the way. The ref should have went, nah, listen, forget the foolishness. That's a pen, bro, because I don't know what you're doing in the box.
You know what, I felt like that challenge was if you gave it, I understand. If you didn't give it, which you didn't, I understand. Like, I feel like it's whatever the decision, like that one, if you're going to leave it down to discretion, I'm like, either way, I can't be mad at any decision that you make. If you give a penalty, everything N said, I 100% agree with, because it's true. He was very unaware. You could see the action. He's fully going to block. There's no two ways about it. His action in terms of putting his leg there, no problem. Gomez is then obviously run. I don't know what they said. I don't listen to these guys.
Do you know what it is as well, G? Just to add to it.
No.
It reminds me of, when a player goes to clear the ball, he doesn't even know the other guy is there. He's just eye on the ball, drops, cleared out of my box, and he kicks through and hits a player. And then the referee's going, for me, they're not penalties, bro. Because I'm like, it's not like he's looking at the guy and he goes, but I could also understand if they give it.
Yeah.
That's why I would have given this one, because it's a similar one. It's not like he's going to foul the guy, but you went and took a player out within the box. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like, one of them ones when you're trying to throw yourself at and you catch someone late. Like on I'm blocking it, but I've caught someone at the same time. That's just him doing. But this man, before the shot went off, Joey G was like up and over it, and I'm like, Yeah, those are the ones when you go and clear it and you don't see and or aware that someone's around you, and you go and clear it, and instead of clearing it, the man toes it off and you catch a little calf or whatever, and then the ref is like, yeah, that's a pen. That's what it felt like to me. That's why I would have given it. But I get what you mean. I promise you, I know he weren't aware. It's not like I know he went to try and block it because he knew Cody cut in and he's like, right, I need to make my body bigger, pause to go and block it. But bro, it's a foul, bro. You can't do that.
No. When you say it like that, I agree. Then I would agree because it is exactly the same as when. Because I always think, how can you give a bro? He didn't even see my he's all the way over here, and my man's run in front of him, and he's kicked it, and you can always those ones piss me off more because I'm like, bro, he's looked this way. My man's come from here. He's not got eyes at the back of his head to know that this guy's coming to you know what I mean, take the ball off him, tear. So. Yeah, it's you know what, when you put it like that, yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, because I know he didn't. There was no intention. It was no. I know the guy didn't go. Oh, I'm gonna just kick Joey G over. His eyes was on.
Not in the
Cody dropped the shoulder on me. He's cutting to line up the shot. I'm aware that this man's got a good shot on him. Let me go and block it. Gomez is making a good run into the box, and then out of nowhere, you decide like, nah, let me just dash Gomez out the way.
The only thing I can think of is. The only thing I can think of in that moment is it's more Joe Gomez's fault than it would be Tete's, purely because Gomez runs straight into him. It's not like Tete's action means he can only go in that one way, which is where he's going to block the ball, right? So if Gomez weren't there, I think he blocks it anyway, blah, 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 whatever. We move on to the next phase of play. Whereas Gomez literally just runs straight, literally straight into him. So I was kind of like, well, he couldn't really go anywhere because Gomez, that's where he was going. He's on the stretch anyway. He's about to block the shot. Gomez is just running. But like I said, people, I can see both sides. As in, if he gave it, I'm like, yeah, penalty. But the fact that he didn't give it, I was like, yeah, I can hear where you're coming from. Like, I couldn't call that a stonewall penalty. I didn't look at that and think, that's a stonewall penalty. I can't lie. Like when it happened, I was like, Gomez, I beg you get out, bro. Like you're starting to annoy me as it is. Just get out.
Because it was like the way the angle and the camera was in it. We just got to see the aftermath where you have to rub your eyes and go, hold on, did I see what I just see, bro?
Yeah.
and yeah, we did see what we just saw. Impressed like everyone was who was in the stadium or saw the game. Ryan did outstanding again. What did you think about Ryan yesterday, bro? Man like Gravers.
Yeah, I thought he was just calm. You know, you could see that as soon as he went back into that centre back role, you could tell like he was just calm. He just felt there was no I didn't feel nervous with him being there. That's the word. I didn't feel nervous with him being there. He didn't really have too much to do, to be honest with you. If like in terms of what he has to do there, like it's just more about make sure you're in the right positions. He's doing the same things more or less that you would be doing in the sixth position. Which he's good at doing, by the way. So yeah. Like, honestly, I thought he was honestly calm. I think I'll put I'll be the Megatron. I do think people overrated the performance because the reality is he's not a centre back and he did calm there. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh my goodness, he's amazing. And I was kind of like, no, I don't think he was amazing. I actually genuinely looked at it and just thought, yeah, he did calm. Like he didn't have much to do in order for me to be like, yeah, this guy was doing this, he was doing that, he was doing he did the same things he would be doing in the sixth position, just a bit further back. So yeah, but like I say, like his performance, absolutely calm. Yeah.
Now I know he can probably fill in at centre back if we ever
what does that say for Kwanzaa though? Like, what do I mean? Like, what for Kwanzaa and that? Like what? The centre back?
Kwanzaa is still recovering, bro. He's you know what I mean. He's still got a few charges he needs to sort out.
Yeah, he needs to.
Yeah, boy, he can. You know what I mean? Step in there. But let's do this one actually first. Mo Salah, Club 100 in terms of assists. We had a conversation obviously on Hassan's channel. I read the comments as well. They were killing me, bro. And then
that was funny, bro.
Bro, I was reading some of them. Man said this guy doesn't know anything, chatting shit. One of them said, yo, if you had to debate. No, he said, oh yeah, Sam won the debate. I was like, if that's not a debate at all, bro. And I said, whenever he wants, I messaged in there. I said, yeah, whenever. I said that ends guy chat shit as well, but whenever he wants to debate, let me know in it. I'll come and debate him. But yeah, for me personally, and this is probably the last time I will mention anything because I realize people are more player FC than they are the club they support.
Yeah.
And I've actually now come to that realization. So that's the last time I'm going to kind of speak on it. No matter how much I tell people this is my favorite footballer in the team, but my expectation level is just slightly different to everyone else's. I just prefer my guy to do certain things that he's not doing, but that's fine. I'm happy in terms of his contribution to the team. But yeah, 100 assists is mad still. It's like obviously I know this. Obviously he's a winger, so they're like, well, that's the winger's job, innit? You're meant to get assists, but he's not only getting assists, he's getting goals as well. So it makes the stat even more than what it is. And I know we all banter and stuff, but last season, if the man then put away more of them opportunities, potentially he could have hit that 100 a lot quicker than what he did. Because I'll wait for G there, yeah.
Give me 2 cents.
Cool. Yeah, so potentially last season would have definitely hit that a lot quicker than what he did. But yeah, man, 100 assists, loads of Trivellas in there. The cross yesterday he put in for Gakpo was cold still. Great little ball out wide from Diaz, and then little chop back, and then whip to the far post, and then the header from Cody was mad. Like that came off the top side. I don't even know, bro. He just came off the top of the head, not even the forehead, bro. Just the scalp at the top, bro. But yeah, it was just his performance at times yesterday. I saw some like compilation and stuff. Yeah, and I see people cooking in the comments because one of the guys go, "Oh, these people are criticizing Mo." But the highlights was like every time he darted past Robinson just got back and then won the ball, or he shepherded him into a space where he lost the ball. And I was like, you can't, out of advice, just don't use that one to convince people that was a good. But I realize now, when people say cooked, it means you just have to run past someone. It doesn't matter about what you do after that. Just run past. But yeah, man, Salah cooked. He's got his 100 assists. I would have wanted him to be a bit better in the game, but I think the second half he was good. It was good. And then I saw I saw the other one that they said Diaz should have gave to him in terms of that pass at the end. It was a split moment. Should he have passed it? Yes. But it was such in a split moment. If he already made a decision in his head in terms of, I'm not passing this and I chop here, that no matter what you do in that moment, it's now gone because the two players saw him, they checked and went, but then he fake shot it back. And then if he wanted to do it, he had to have done it quicker. He had to play it. But in his mind, he's like, I could probably sell him, drop the shoulder, I'd send them to and then shoot. Wrong decision, in my opinion, but it is what it is, innit? But what's your thoughts, bro, on terms of him hitting the 100 assists and in terms of his performance yesterday?
I think performance-wise, he was all right. I don't think it was that good in the game. I felt like people's definition, as you said, of cook, I'm like, right, if that's cooking, man, then I see that bare. Like, if that's the definition, I see that quite a lot, though. But I don't call that cooking. Yeah, I don't think he cooked Robinson that much in the game. I think he got past him a couple of times. But the way people made it out, the way people over-exaggerated, they made it seem like, nah, Robinson was shit, man. I was like, nah, he wasn't. As N said, bro, like the guy was getting, there was enough times where he can't even, like, there's certain situations that, come on, man, Salah's Salah. You know that, especially if he's going to be in and around the box, he's probably going to go down as well. So you're not going to put your foot in, in stupid situations. I remember there was one situation where he goes past him, like in the box, but I can't remember who the other centre back that was next to Robinson.
Yeah, he came across to
came across, just to clear the ball, like, and that was it. Salah lost the ball, and then we move. Do you know what I mean? So if you class that as cooking, then okay, fairs, then that's just the definition. But to me, I was like, I felt like it was kind of even. And to be honest, didn't Robinson get 2 assists? So I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what Robinson's stats was yesterday, just to kind of add context to the conversation. Let's go. 2 assists, 1 clearance, 1 block, 3 interceptions, total tackles 5, Dribbled pass said 3, but I saw the 3 and it got past him, but he got back at him. What you know what I mean? And then
Not
one
fair.
Salah got past him and then misplaced the pass. So it will still count. Jules 1, 7 out of 13. Errol Jules 1 out of 1. Possession lost 12. Fouled once. 79% possession pass completion. 4 key passes. Crosses completed 3 out of 4. Fucking hell. Big chances created 1. Barred the 2 assists. I don't know why they didn't add those in the big chance. That's what I don't understand. You got 2 assists, which will be classed as a big chance, right?
Yeah.
I would say, because you got 2 assists, that means you set someone up to have a shot on goal.
Depends. For example, you wouldn't call Nunes' assist a big chance to Jota, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I can't.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah, but you got 1 big chance. So if we separate those 2 assists, that means he probably should have 3 assists then if we're classing that as a big chance. Dribbles attempted 1 out of 3. He finished on an 8. That's for the guys that prefer or like their stats. That's the stats from Robinson, I should say.
Yeah, no. Listen, I thought it was funny because he did so well, and then our left back got sent off. It was actually it was very, very poetic in the way that happened. Actually, to be fair, but yeah, no. Listen, I thought he was good. I see why Savage is always ranting and raving about him. Yeah, he was good, man. He was good. He had the brother's got mad energy. That's the bit that I knew, but when it's like, I guess in this, I was watching it proper closely in this game. I was like, Fry, he got mad energy. Like, he seems to be able to get up the field and still got the energy to, to come back, kind of thing.
Have them games, bro. Like,
yeah.
Apart from like the ones when no one pays attention to the games here, but he has them. Even the Arsenal one, he wasn't great in it, but he wasn't bad. But it's just because Saka is obviously, he was just doing that cutback on 1-2s and he had to chase. You know what I mean? There was a lot going on in that particular game. But all right, obviously for the stats guy as well, just to kind of add the battle between the 2 guys, so Salah and Robinson. So that was Robinson's one. Salah was 1 assist, fantastic assist by the way. 0 shots on target, 3 shots off target, shots blocked 1, dribbles attempts 7, completed 3 of them, 67% pass completion, 1 key pass, 1 accurate cross, which is the goal, I would say. Long ball 1 out of 2, 1 big chance created, ground duels 1 4 out of 9. That's good. That's a good number, to be fair. Lost possession 24 times. Expected when you're a winger. And then foul 1. So,
see, that doesn't sound like he cooked anybody though. Like, the pass completion is crap. The shots off, you had no shots on target in the game.
Could add 1 if Diaz passed to him. So,
he was just it kind of thing. But you're right about the Diaz thing as well. Like, listen, the right move is pass. But if he's already made up his mind in I'm gonna sell and then I'm gonna go for the shot, I just felt like, I don't know, man. Listen, it's already happened, so I was just like, nah, man. You need to make better decisions, and I think that's always been Diaz's issue, is that you don't make great decisions consistently. If that makes sense, like you do have a lot of games I feel like this, and I thought I'll keep it a buck. I thought at the beginning of the season that he had eradicated that. I thought, okay, Diaz is, he's making better decisions. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing his thing. I don't know how many assists Diaz is. I'd have to check how many assists he's on for this season. But the goals have dried up in the league. I think someone said he's not scored in the league since September. I mean, we're in December now. That is atrocious, if I'm being totally honest with you, because considering where you kind of started from, for you personally, forget that we've got someone else who can score goals. For you personally, that's not good. Like, I don't look at that and think, oh yeah, this guy's really doing well. Do you know what I mean? So that's something that he definitely needs to, pattern up and kind of fix up on. But yeah, listen, look, Salah was Salah. He got his GA, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I'll keep it a buck with you, Enz. Yeah, Salah's my guy, and I'll always big him up. But I'll be real. When people, I saw someone say, oh, like, the best Liverpool player this season has been Salah. I was like, I don't even think he's been in the top 4 players. Like I can think of at least 3 players who I think have been better than him this season. Like, I get it, because he's the only one really scoring, was it 70% that he, of our goals are coming through him. I'm not looking at his overall performances and sitting there saying, Salah's been the guy. And I feel like people are getting it's annoying me because you're making me look bad. Because now I feel like you're making the GA seem so crazy, which it is, but you're making it seem so like you're making that feel like that is the overall performance of Salah. Whereas I'm like, nah, but guys, like we can, yeah, literally this, like whatever order, but those are the 4 players I would have had ahead of Salah anyway, right? So if like because you're making the GA sound so like, oh my goodness, because he scored an assist in this game, he scored an assist in that game, he got the winner in this game. Listen, him doing that is excellent, absolutely fantastic. Like, of course, it's helping the team to win. But when we're watching these overall performances, bro, these are coming in like 20-minute stints in a 90-minute game. Like, let's keep it a buck, guys. Like, first of all, don't make me look bad because I'm the one who's been trying to champion this guy. But I've always made it about just GA. When we're talking about performances, I can't agree with people. So
that's the thing as well, though, G, because I've not been on the stance of GA. I already expect him because he's that good. I know that's it. I'm just asking for the performance piece. And then whenever you mention that, it's just like, no, you must hate him. What you expecting? He's 30-something. And I'm like, I'm not looking at his age because this guy is probably more fit than most 20-year-olds because of the way he keeps his body and stuff like that. And he's an athlete. So I'm not even looking at his age. I'm looking at just it's 90 minutes. I don't expect you to be perfect across 90 minutes. I don't think many players can be perfect across 90 minutes. I mentioned it before. I said, unless you're having one of those games, the games, anything you touch, it's just working. You shoot, deflection flies in. The defender behind you slips over every time you go by him. You don't even have to do much. It just works for you. But I've always kind of stood on that in terms of performance. I just need that performance. And when he has, I've credited him. And yesterday he wasn't. What did I say on the Sam channel? I said what did I say? Wasn't that good? I don't think.
No,
I said decent.
Half decent.
And them lost their mind, bro. If you look at the because I checked the comments. Actually, I didn't check it, but for some reason, if you were viewing a channel before, but you go on a different one, sometimes it shows the comment section.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, because I was on my video. I'm just like, okay. Then I saw the comments there. I thought, let me read through it and see what's going on. I said, this ends guy's a waste man.
Yeah, but it's you're right, Pops. You're right, Pops. What you say about that's the thing. I think that's the difference, though, is that he is he's a numbers guy than the performance guy. So when we're talking about who's been the best performer, I can't put him number one because he hasn't been the best performer.
No,
Virgil's been better than him. Konate's been better than him. What's his name? Gravenberch's been better than him. Kelleher, you know what I mean? I haven't even, like there's at least 4 players that you would say have performed better than him. What he's done though, better than anybody else, obviously, he's got the numbers. So it's just one of those. But again, it's nothing wrong with that, by the way, people. Him getting the numbers, we need him to keep getting these numbers because we're struggling without him. But I'm just saying, when we're then trying to have this conversation of like, yeah, but who's been the best? I'm like, don't let that cloud your judgment in thinking that, because the reality is, if his performances ain't really popping, and there are actually, remember, it's not like Haaland where you're like, he's just really getting you the GA, but no one else is really doing anything else. So you can kind of say, yeah, well, he is the best then. Like, he's the best player that we've got.
Building, Drift. And me bring Drifty in the building. Making his appearance, man. Been trying to get him on for a minute still, but man's a busy man. But big up, Drift, bro. Appreciate you jumping in, broski.
No, man. What's going on, boys? What's going on?
Man. Chilled, talking, chopping up Liverpool, trying to figure out what's going wrong with the team. 5 goals conceded in 2. Can't win in the Prem at the moment. Obviously, factors of yesterday's game, a red card and 2 potential red cards for Fulham. And maybe the referee, as Virgil said, he was a bit nervous. Said I spoke to the other Fulham players. He said he felt he was nervous. So I don't know. We're kind of just chopping up Salah at the moment in terms of when you speak about his performance, and a lot of people kind of get a bit mad instead of just taking it with a pinch of salt. It doesn't mean you hate the player. It just means, he's a star man. We want him to perform. And yesterday, I said on a Sam channel, I think it was just a decent performance. Could have been better. But everyone lost their mind when I said that still. So I don't know. What's your kind of views on the game as a whole and Mo Salah performances across the season so far?
Mo is Mo, man. He just does his thing, man. Like whether he has a sensational game or he just gets a goal or an assist, he just does his thing, man. That's why he's the best in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't think he was great yesterday. I felt the first half he was kind of quiet in the first half. I think in the second half he played well, but overall, I think on our match rating I gave him a 6.5 or a 7. I think so. Like it wasn't the greatest of games. Beautiful assist. But Mo's Mo, man. We can't always expect him to be pulling out the 9s and the 10s. Like that Newcastle game was on a whole nother level. Do you know what I mean? Those type of performances, especially at his age, I think that's one thing we have to realize. He's still got a lot left in the tank, but at 32, you can't be expecting him to be consistent every single week. He's got to pace himself. That's not how it works when you get older. Do you know what I mean? So even the best of all time, Messi, once he became around that age, 32, 33, he started to pace himself. It wasn't just every game he's going ham. It was where and when necessary. Do you know what I mean? So it's for others to step up when Mo's having a rest. Do you know what I mean? And generally speaking, I think our forwards do. I know a lot of people don't like our forwards. I find it a bit strange. I don't want to keep going back and forward with other people anymore. It is what it is. I feel like the toxicity amongst us is way too high considering we're top of both leagues. I mean, what the hell does everyone else think if we've got this much complaining to do top of both leagues? Do you know what I'm saying? So I get that maybe people want an improvement, but I also think that this is people just wanting perfection. So I try not to get too caught up in it.
What is the perfection? Because all right, say for me, from my standpoint, when it comes to like Mo, for an example, it's never the GA. I just know he's going to get them. With him being 32, 33, I always look at how he keeps himself. Maybe his age says something, but I know the way this man trains and keeps his body. He's probably, I was saying earlier to G, I'm saying he's probably more fitter than most 20-year-olds because of how well he keeps his body. He's an athlete, looks after himself, doesn't drink. He's not here eating those fatty foods. You know what I mean? He's a proper athlete. So he's probably a bit younger, you know, in terms of physically stronger, physically more fitter than most people in their mid-20s, maybe even early 20s. But I always look at
play for Klopp though, remember, bro. That adds about 5-6 years on your career. Let's be real.
I hear that. But also as well, man, it's just there's like some games I'm just like, bro, man, that I need you to be here. I know you're the talisman, and I know I'm not expecting you to be perfect because I know perfection isn't something. But I'm just like, bro, just hold on to that a bit easier, man. Link the play. Sometimes you might have to drift over to the other side and help out and just do certain things. And it just feels like as long as he gets his, it feels like he's just calm with that. And that's sometimes where my feeling is at times with him. But he's my favorite player. But every time I mention anything about him, it's like, nah.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Do you know this is what I'm saying about the toxicity? It's like we laugh at fan bases like Arsenal's fan base, for example, or Tottenham's fan base, but we're kind of doing it ourselves. And this is why I always tell people, like, have a little bit of self-awareness, man. I think that's like, you see, no, they say common sense ain't common. Self-awareness is not common at all, bro. Way too many people have no idea that they're saying or doing crazy things. And that's what I'm saying to people. Like, are you not aware of what you're doing? Like, all right. When you say like perfection, this is why I think people are striving for perfection. I think they go too far. So our front line, every single player in our front line scored 15 goals or more last season. But you know what I get told? I weren't in the Prem, so who cares? Oh, hold on, wait a minute. So the Premier League is the only competition that scoring goals matters in. Is that what I'm hearing? Because 15 goals each or more from all of our front players, for me, is exceptional. If you actually go through every other team in the league, they only have maybe 3 front players, not even 5. They have 3 of them. And all 3 of them never got 15 goals in any competition, regardless of what you want to call it. So for us to have 5 players all on 15 goals or more, for me, we have a very good front line. Can there be games where they could be better? Yeah. But again, they're humans. What's this perfection chasing stuff? I don't get it. I don't understand why everybody thinks that if you have a bad game, all of a sudden you should be gone. Or if you don't perform to the level that everybody else thinks, that, you know what I mean? Like, I have arguments with people. They say Nunes ain't even good enough to be a squad player. Now, I do not want to go into the Nunes conversation ever again. But how is 31 GA not good enough to be a squad player? Like, even if you don't think he should be the first team starting lineup forward, how is 31 GA not good enough to be in it? Go through the whole of Europe and find me a forward who got 31 GA last season. And then they go, oh, in the Europa League, oh, Carabao. Don't we want to win all the trophies? So now we start picking and choosing when we care about when the goal and where. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand it, bro. We only equalized yesterday because of Nunes. What is that? That's an assist, right? Last season, I got told, who cares about assist from a striker? But you want to know what? Without Nunes being good at assisting, we lose to Arsenal and we lose to Fulham this season. That's 2 games already, I can tell you, where we've dropped points because Nunes got a brilliant assist from Mo against Arsenal and he got a brilliant assist yesterday against Fulham. But assists don't matter, right? Remember that. If Nunes doesn't assist, it doesn't matter because he's a striker, so he should only get goals. This is what people do this to the Bible. They pick and choose which part they want to be godly. They pick and choose which part they want to follow because it suits the narrative, the way they live their life. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you didn't wait till marriage to have sex, but you believe in God. But where did I don't? Bro, you don't pick and choose. You either do or you don't, man. You get what I'm saying? That's why people ask me if I'm religious. I say no, I'm spiritual, and I talk to God by myself. I can't say I'm religious because there's the only things I do that I shouldn't be doing.
Shouldn't be doing.
You get what I mean, brother? Like, so I can't sit there and go, yeah, I'm mad religious. Hold on a minute. How's that? How can that be? Look at the way you live your life. So people just need to understand that you can't just pick and choose what the rules are, when you want them to be, how you feel about it, to suit your narrative, to suit your agenda. Do you know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. I think our front line is brilliant. Can we upgrade? Yeah, of course. There are definitely players out there that are better. But I'll be honest with you, bro. If you're talking about our first team, which will be Jota, Diaz, Salah, I think that is our best front three. If I was gonna like name who I think it is, there aren't 5 left wingers in the world better than Diaz. There aren't 5 finishers better than Jota, and Mo Salah is arguably the best. Full stop. So what's wrong with our front line?
I'll let G answer that one, bro, because G's the Arsenal guy. He's the Salah guy. Jokes aside, Joe G, man.
No.
You look at our team, and I remember Savage last season broke it down and compared our front line to all the other. He done the wingers comparison, how well our wingers are doing, how well our strikers are doing in terms of the numbers. But why is everyone always comparing our forwards to like Mo numbers and expecting him to get Mo numbers when Mo is just the world-class one? They're not going to get them numbers like that.
Yeah, one, we need to stop doing that, but that's whatever. You're going to do that anyway. That's just what people do. Where I agree with Drift is when we had the show the other day, right? And we spoke about, like, when I said about what striker do Liverpool need, or what striker do people think Liverpool needs, should I say, right? Because obviously if no one wants Nunes and yada, 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 no worries. I might not rate Nunes here, but the quality of striker that's even available, I'm almost like, people are saying, say, like a Mamouche or Acuna. They're good players in their own right. I don't think they're bad. I think they could potentially come in and do something. Are they that good that you would drop the 60 to whatever million it's going to cost?
100 million apparently.
100 million for João Pedro. Let's just say that we're going to use those figures, right? Would you realistically sit here and be like, yeah, well, I can get rid of, say, a Nunes or Jota or Gakpo, whoever, and drop it on like a João Pedro? Is João Pedro that good? Like, is he so far above the level that we've got where you can say, let me go spend 100 million? Remember, this ain't Kane, this ain't Haaland, this ain't Lewandowski. There you can say, okay, yeah, you drop any one of these guys. Of course, those guys are the most elite strikers that we have in the game. So when we do talk about like other players, and by the way, guys, remember, we're Liverpool. So let's think about the players that Liverpool would go for. We're not going to go and get a Haaland or a Kane or anyone like that anyway. We're going to kind of maybe find it like a level or two below. So that level or two below, is it that much better? I'll be real. Over the last few weeks, I'll cuss this front line every single game if I have to. But the reality is, I also then have to think, there's not really that many players out there that I'd be like, let's drop the 100 million on this guy, or let's drop the 80 million on this guy. So when we are talking about like our front line, as Drift said, the reality is, well, we are top of everything. last season, they did all score however many goals. They did get however many assists. And we did win, obviously, the Carabao Cup and went far and whatever. So it's like a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, yes, we can upgrade. I'm not saying that we can't upgrade. Of course we can. There's players out there. Are there players that we would get? Realistic, knowing Liverpool, like knowing who we are and what we have done, they're not realistic, bro. Yes, I want Elise. Yes, I want Musiala. Yes, I want whoever. Of course, I want these players. We all want these kind of players, but they're not realistic. So now you're like, should we get João Pedro, the Cunhas, the Marmouches? I'm like, come on, man. Like, I'll just keep what I've got. I can't really be bothered to switch it up because you know what's going to happen, right? We'll get Cunha. He'll score 12 goals in all competition. Let's let you know he'll score 15 goals. We'll still get mad because he's not scoring enough. So what was the point in getting rid of, say, a Jota, even though he's always like he's half fit? It don't really make sense to me because we're gonna get mad at that guy anyway. He's not a Haaland, he's not a Kane, he's not scoring you 40 goals a season. We're still gonna get mad anyway. So I'm like, better the devil you know. Honestly, it's just better the devil that you know. Let's just keep it pushing and then whatever. That's why when everyone talks about like, you know, like group chats or social media, and we talk about like what do you call it? The transfers that have been swirling around, right? I said I won't be surprised if Liverpool sign no one, like nobody in January, and just run what we've got. I'm not saying that we don't need signings in certain areas, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just said, "Nah, everyone's fit now. We can just keep it moving." You may bring someone back from loan. You might say Bendok or Bajcetic or whoever. But when everyone is fit, unless it's going to be someone that we know is going to come straight into the first team, everyone says Gravenberch's having a great season. People want Curtis Jones in the team now, and then whoever in midfield. So who that midfielder, where they're coming to play? The forward line, I don't see a good enough forward that's going to be available in January. The left back situation, I don't see a situation where Liverpool buy a third left back and have 3 left backs just chilling. It ain't happening. Someone's got to go, and I don't see Robertson. He ain't leaving, and I don't really feel like Tsimikas is going to leave either. Trent, the right back situation, calm. Centre back situation, everyone wants a centre back. I want one, but guess what? The reality is, we've got centre backs: Konza, Gomez, Konate, and Fink. Even unless they have a long-term season-ending injury, they're not going anywhere. So we're not going to get a 5th choice centre back who's just going to come there to play whatever minutes. It's not going to happen. So that's why I'm like, I just feel we just got to be a bit more realistic with what we're asking for. Guys, I know we can upgrade. We can upgrade. Of course you can. Any team, Man City can upgrade, as we've seen. Arsenal can upgrade, Chelsea, whatever. But the reality of it is that, as you've said, as you guys have said, we're kind of top of everything. So do you really think that the team and the owners and the board are going to be like, yeah, let's get this guy? No, just run what you've got. You're winning with the team that you've got. So right now, I don't need to buy anything. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, but what's kind of what? So let's go to the 2 Premier League. Newcastle 3-3, and then we had Fulham 2-2. What's kind of going wrong at the moment defensively? Because before, as I was saying to G earlier, Drifty, before you joined, I was rubbing my hands. We was on 6 goals conceded. And I'm like, okay, maybe we can end the season on about 11, maybe 12, 13 goals. Because I felt the defense was so assured. But in the last 2 games, we just dashed out the window, bro. We just conceding goals left, right, and center. Perfect in the Champions League, 5 clean sheets out of 6. When it comes to the Premier League recent games, I don't know what Konate can't be this much of a big miss. Like, are we just Konate FC now in defense, bro? We ain't got big bad Verge around there. What's going on?
Do you know what? He probably is, you know. Like, Joey's my guy. I rate Joey, but what we got to remember is, even though he has thrown up some clinics in this time, he had the stinker against Newcastle. And that's going to happen when you don't play regularly. Like, I feel bad for Joey. Like, he was one of our best performers last season, without a shadow of a doubt. And then he didn't finish the season once everybody was fit, which I think was a bit of a liberty from Klopp. And then he's coming to this season and he hasn't played until now. And we are a third of the way through the season. People forget rhythm and that it does help and it does count. So if he hasn't had the games to get the rhythm, he's going to have them inconsistencies within the performance. And Ibu is that important, bro. Like, Ibu is that guy. You know what I mean? Ibu's the 2nd best defender in the league. Virgil's the 1st, then Ibu's the 2nd. I don't want to hear this Saliba, Gabriel bullshit. I ain't got time for all that. They're good players. Of course they are. They can't talk to Ibu. They can't. Fully fit Ibu is better than them all. So it is pretty important. Then you got the fact that the fullbacks have been chopped and changed quite a lot. Trent, I don't know what is going on with Trent in terms of his application at the moment. And then the Robertson situation, I think what the issue is, it isn't that Robertson isn't good enough anymore. It's Robertson isn't good enough to play regularly anymore. If Robertson's playing a game here and a game there, and he's the backup, and we have a starting lineup left back who's the first team who plays the majority of the time, I think Robertson's totally fine. I still think you're going to get good performances. Look what he did against Man City. Look what he did against Real Madrid. Like, he's still capable. But he's had to play, 5-6 games in a row now? It's too much now. At his age now, with the amount of running he's done, that's too much. So now you're starting to see the performances drop a bit because he's played too many games in a row. This is the problem with Tsimikas. I rate Tsimikas, but every time we need him, he's injured. I actually started realizing we haven't clocked how injury-prone Tsimikas is because he's the backup, so we don't pay as much attention to it. Every time we actually need Tsimikas, he's injured. Do you know what I mean? Or every time the left back gets injured, he'll come in, he'll play a few games, start to get some form, play well, then he'll get injured. How do you think Joey ended up?
Was it Klopp that injured him last time? Was it Klopp that injured him? Like Saka barged him into Klopp.
Yeah. Do you remember? And he was playing well up to that point. That was when Robbo was out with his dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, he had
and
the
then
shoulder.
That's the reason why Joey came in and ended up being the best left back for us last year, because Tsimikas couldn't hold it down. He gets injured a lot. So when you deep it, there's some variables as to why the defense has been getting a little bit weird recently. Plus, you can't always perform at your highest optimum defensively, even like midfield wise. McAllister was out of the team yesterday, which I think kind of did have a little. I think maybe his defensive help showed a little bit yesterday with him not playing, or maybe just how much we control a game more when he's playing. Some of these things go under the radar a lot. They don't stand out as much, and then when the player's not there, you go, "Oh, hang on a minute." Little like Soboslai, I was so annoyed with the way he was playing, but then you take him out the team and you go, "Oh, hang on a minute. When he's not playing, we're missing something."
Yeah.
Even if you know what I mean? Even if he's not giving us what we want, he's still giving us something we don't realize we need. And then he goes and you're like, "Oh shit," when he's not playing. The Arsenal game was a prime example of that. There was no Soboslai and we didn't have that energy in midfield. I think Soboslai starts that game when we win it. Do you know what I mean? So it's funny how there's just different things players do that you don't quite. Even Nunes, bro. Again, I don't really want to talk about him, but if we have to be honest, when he's not up front, we do miss his energy. Even if he has these, tendencies to miss big chances and he can be frustrating. I love Nunes, and even I'll admit he is frustrating at times. His energy and his pressing and his closing down. When he's not there, you still look and go, "Oh yeah, shit." Because there'll be times I'll see people who don't like him, but be on the 7th minute, but like, "I think we need Nunes' energy now to try and push the." And you'll be like, "Oh, now you want him, yeah?" Because normally you don't give a shit about him, but now you want him because you realize little things that these players do, it can help. So it's a tough one, isn't it, with the defense? But I do think Ibu's that important, bro. I do think Ibu's that important. And again, we got to remember as well, you could ask Schur to do that 5 million times, and I will bet my life he won't score it again. The angle, the jamminess, everything about it, even though it was Kelleher's absolute howler and Kelleher should have not left that. I can guarantee you could bet your life Schur is never scoring that goal again. That angle was so crazy. He's never doing that again. Never, ever, ever.
Do you know there's two players in that, Drifty and G as well? It was Kelleher leaving it, but Trent leaving he left Schur to run. He just said, "Nah, go on."
Yeah. But to be fair, I allowed him.
Nah, ain't coming to this.
Yeah.
Kelleher's going to catch it, or it's just going to nothing's happening with this. That was a 1 in a million goal. He will never do that again. I don't even think Ronaldinho could score that goal on purpose. It was so the angle was so tight. Everything about it was just like
he kind of slid and then hit it with the outside of his foot. I still don't know how you could.
And normally from that angle, what that ball's supposed to do is just trickle across the face of the goal. The fact it's spanned in, bro, you'll never score that. He could never ever score that goal ever again.
I wish they just showed a video in training and then, man, they're doing it. Luke B says, "Drifty, it's a safe space here, man. You ain't no copy. Speak your mind, bro." But G, what do you think the problem is, bro? Because we can't be Kanate FC, bro. Because Kanate ain't in the team. I was seeing the stats. I think it was like 5 goals we conceded up until a certain point. And then when Kanate don't play, he's only been missing a couple of games down the Prem, and we conceded 5 already.
I don't know, man. I actually don't know, because he is that important, because you do see it in the games that he is there, that if he wasn't there, we would concede a lot more goals, if that makes sense. So you notice in some games we give up chances, in it. So in those games that we're giving up chances, if he wasn't there, or him and Van Dijk, if they weren't there, we'd concede more goals. So maybe we're just kind of seeing that now, kind of, play itself out, kind of thing. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think it's more about the way that we play. I've said this before. Like, I like the way that we play, but it does leave us quite vulnerable at times, i.e., there'll be too many games where like the midfield might be a little bit too open. Once that midfield is open, bro, you're coming at the defense. Like, there's only so many times the defense can save you in these situations. It's not going to happen all the time. So I feel like the teams that we're coming up against, your Newcastles, who've got like that crazy midfield who will do what they do with that crazy energy. Then you're coming up against a team like Southampton who actually play football, and now they're playing through you. Like, it's just little kind of things. That's why against Madrid and City, I was like, yeah, I feel like you could, like, getting that clean sheet didn't really surprise me though, because of the way that they play and the kind of form that they're kind of in at the moment. I felt like that would have been kind of it. Whereas you played against teams who they have something in their team which can hurt you. Those two teams that we played, City and Madrid, individual player wise, they can hurt you, of course, on their day. We know what City and Madrid, we've faced them too many times anyway. But right now, they don't have that, whatever it is that they had before, in order to beat us. And we've got the impetus. We've got the fans, behind us, like trying to, will us on and stuff like that. I feel like it kind of played into our hands as opposed to, trying to play into their hands. Whereas coming up against Southampton, bro, that's a free hit. We said it before. That's a free hit for them. They don't, like, that's not a game that they looked at in the calendar and said, yeah, we're going to get a victory against Liverpool. Come on, bro. Like, they just look at that and think, keep the score respectable, we move. And then let's just play our football and see what that does. I don't even know the score that they lost today. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
it was 5-0. I don't know if there was any more goals, but I left it at 5-0. And then I was like,
that tells you, you know what I mean? That tells you everything you need to kind of know about Southampton. Like, they'll just do what they're going to do, kind of thing. Newcastle, that's always going to be a tough game. But we said it before in the preview, that's going to be a game where you just need to be careful, because what they're good at, I feel like that's where our weakness kind of lies. So if they can win that midfield battle, that will hurt us even more, with or without Kanate. So that's where I feel like, those kind of games. But let's wait and see, man. Let's wait and see. Obviously, we ain't lost. That's the benefit. We haven't lost. So if you can just get through this period, I don't know when Kanate is back, but if you can just get through this period until he gets back without losing, then you have at least a base. Because if you start losing games, like if you don't beat Spurs at the next week, it starts to become a little bit tricky, because now you're desperate for him to get back. Kanate, he's a guy that you can't rush back, because we know what that's like. Rushing back, he gets injured straight away. Then he's out for even longer. Now we're even more pissed. So you kind of want to just make sure that it's the Ali situation, where we don't need to throw Ali into this game, but he did, because Ali was 100% fit. He waited until Ali was 100%, and then he threw him in. We need that with Kanate if we're gonna, we've got the whole rest of the season to go, man.
So they're saying he's back doing work and stuff. He's got the knee brace off now, so he's stopped with the stone cold thing. But I don't want to rush him back as well, because he's going to be vital for us. I think the man them Gomez, Kwanzaa, and Verge have to hold down the fort until he comes back, because the last we want. You remember with Diaz when we brought him back and then realized he actually needed surgery. Yeah, we thought he was fine. He played the one game and then he had surgery and then he was out for the rest. Big up to Zia. I think we'll be happy when Sadio version 2 is signed. Appreciate it.
I'm not gonna lie to you, there's no such thing.
Yeah, he was just the one, innit?
Sadio is one of one. There's no more Sadios. Best left, in my opinion, best left winger to play in the Prem. You know the maddest thing?
He swapped his side because he started originally on the right for us, and then when we signed Mo, they shifted him to the left-hand side.
Yeah. Because he was just that guy, bro. He's just that guy. And if we'd have kept him for one more year, he would have played down the middle, and he would have been excellent for us down the middle. So Sadio was Sadio, man. He was one of one. I think that's the unrealistic expectations as well that we've got. Like we look at what Sadio and Mo were doing together as a duo, and now we keep judging Diaz by that standard, which I think is unfair. He's a different type of player to Sadio. He's not as direct as Sadio, so it's a little bit unfair to compare him, and that's where I think the problem is. The style of players that we have now, they're not as direct. Gakpo's not as direct. Diaz isn't as direct, but they're effective in their own ways in what they do. So, yeah, if somebody knows where Sadio version 2 is, let me know because we need to go
because I've been looking, see who's out there that we can go and get in. These men are killing me in the chat, man. Scrap said Trent made everyone think Konate was just injury prone.
Okay, do you both think, is that, do you guys think that's why everybody wants to sign a false 9? Because everyone wants Bobby, they want a Bobby version 2. But do we need a Bobby version 2? Like, is that what we need in order for us to, do you get what I'm saying? Because you're saying, you've just said there, like, obviously just joking, but it's like, yeah, if we can find a Sadio version 2, but do we need a Sadio version 2? Can't we just have a Diaz or the Gakpo or whoever plays on the left hand side? Like, I feel like and this is to the people who are trying to find new players. We're so, because we've seen the MSN, the Messi, Suarez, Neymar, our version of that in our team. We're trying to replicate that in terms of what fans want. So I'm like, if that's what fans want, but the team are doing well without that, that's the bit that kind of throws me a little bit, because I'm like, that's all I ever see is everyone said they want a João Pedro, you know, because he'd be a really good false 9. He could do this, Cunha the same thing, and whoever else. I'm like, okay, that's fair, but do we need a false 9? Why not just get a normal striker? Why not just get a number 9 who can just play up front? That, like, how do we know that isn't going to work for the team?
I don't know if we play that way. Like the way I think the way Slot's playing, I think a false 9 might suit the way we're playing more because he'll be involved more. It seems like you're very alone as a striker in our team at the moment because of the system. I think it might be on purpose. I don't think it's like a crap system. I think it's how he wants it to be. I'm not gonna lie, João Pedro is my guy. I've been at in Liverpool for about 5-6 months. So if this comes true, then you know what I mean, it's going to be another one I can tick on my list. So I think João Pedro absolutely bangs for us. I absolutely do, because I think he is actually a little bit of a Bobby Mark II. Of course, he's never ever going to be Bobby. Bobby was world class, but I think he's actually a Bobby Mark II. I think he can play 10, he can play up front, he can even play left wing at a stretch. He's got skill, he's got an eye for a pass, and he's actually probably a little bit more clinical than Bobby was, because Bobby did have his moments where you're like, I can't believe he's missed that. Bobby was a scorer of great goals. He wasn't a great goal scorer. Whereas I think Pedro has the ability to be a great goal scorer. I do. He's very clutch, and I think he's quite clinical when need be. He's 23. He's growing. We get him. Slot develops him. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I think João Pedro absolutely lights up this league for Liverpool. So that's what I want. That's what I want. But now I don't know, because I was going to say we can part ways with Jota reluctantly because of his injuries. And then he just keeps reminding me, no, you don't get rid of players like
you can't just get rid of me, bro.
You don't get rid of players like Jota, man. You just don't. I know his injuries are frustrating, but you don't get rid of players like Jota. You just don't. It's weird. It's difficult, man. I don't really know. I don't know. It's weird.
It's the sharpness of, he weren't even a finish for me. It was just the sharpness and quick mind where he just flicks it around the play, and I'm just like, yeah, we missed that, man. That little Suarez-esque kind of just dribbling when he goes on a run.
And he gave the goalie the eyes, you know.
Yeah.
On the finish, he gave the goalie the eyes, you know. Don't get twisted. That weren't rubbish goalkeeping. He gave the goalie the eyes. The goalie thought he was going far post, and he just pulled it near post. Beautiful finish. That's Jota, man. That's Jota. What do you do? Missing him for 3 months can be detrimental, but then he comes back and you play him. You're like, you can't not have this guy in your team. It's weird.
You know, the 2 last injuries he's had, one, someone fell on his leg, and the other one, someone fell on his ribs. So I'm just like, it's not like he was doing the normal injury, comeback, calf strain, thigh strain. It was like literally the last 2 long-term injuries he had was 2 people just falling on him.
Yeah,
just
like big grown men as well.
Yeah.
Punctured his lung, you know. I think we downplayed how serious of an injury that is. Like, man punctured his lung, you know. Man couldn't breathe properly. Do you know what I'm saying? That's a big deal. That's actually a big deal. Do you know what I mean? So
I think the problem is it's always him though. That's what I think bugs people the most. It's like, you know, like like, why is it you? Like, you know, like if this happens to someone else, like I don't think that injury even happens. But it's like when it happens to you, as much as that's we understand why you got injured, it's like, oh, but why you though? Like, of all the players in the team, like listen, I don't want anyone to be injured. That's dumb. But not you specifically because of who you are. Like that finish, as you say, bro. I was like, yeah, see, as soon as he scored, I just started laughing. I was just like, the guy has been out. People have been talking about selling him. Bang, you score. And then now everyone's like, yeah, you know what? But that he would do that. Daniel Sturridge, I keep telling you, he's the Portuguese Daniel Sturridge. You know he is a bad boy finisher, but you can't get him on the pitch like long enough. And you just hope that he can just remain at his peak. Obviously, Sturridge, it kind of, because we had Mane, Salah, Firmino, that kind of started to, you know, come through on the Klopp. So we had to get rid of Sturridge. But yeah, I just hope it doesn't kind of end that way for like a Diogo Jota because of it. But we'll see, man. We still got time. Look, we're only in December, you know. We got bare long left of this season to go, bro. Like so much. So
felt like our points got ate away though, man. I look at the table today. I know we got the game in hand, but I remember looking at it about a couple of weeks back, and I'm like, "Raw, 9 points, 11 points clear of City." I'm like, yeah, but then I look today, and it's a cool 2 points with the game in hand, and that's not points guaranteed because obviously that game's going to be played February 11th. They've put that game in now against Everton, so that's the game in hand. So up until that point, we have to pretty much, I don't know, be perfect or close to perfect and hope the other guys drop points.
We'll be second by the time we play Tottenham.
You know,
that's mad, isn't it? I'm not gonna lie, that is mad still to actually think, raw for real. Chelsea have caught us up to the point where we'll be a point behind them by the time we play Chelsea because they're gonna beat Palace. So it's actually
Palace won today though, 3-1 against
It'll be tricky, but I think they'll have enough to beat him. The only reason I'm not panicking about Chelsea right now, and I'm still looking at Arsenal as the main contender, is because I think Chelsea's goalkeeper and centre-back situation will eventually let them down. Like, I don't quite think they're good enough. They remind me of what we were like in 13-14 when we had a great attack and we had some good midfielders. But we knew with the likes of Mignolet in goal that it's very unlikely that you truly will get over the line. And if you think about their defence, Colwill gets an injury. Obviously, I'd never wish an injury on anyone. But if Colwill gets an injury, Badiashile and them, man, they're not. You can't win a league with them, man. Do you know what I'm saying?
And Cucurella got a red card as well today, so he'll be missing.
Oh,
he's been vital, got a red card in the closing stage of the game.
Injured as well. So, like, I think they're and I mean that Sanchez is the worst goalie in the league. Like,
he had games where he looks good, and then there's games where he's just flapping. And he's just
he is terrible. Oh my god, he's terrible. And this is what scares me. Chelsea are gonna try and upgrade. They might buy someone in the window. Although, what happened to that whole Chelsea were in trouble for their spending same way like Man City, and like there was like a punishment coming? What happened to that? Because that one just seemed to go away out of nowhere.
But they kind of started to offset it. That's why they were trying to get rid of like Gallagher, because it started to offset what they were actually spending. Yeah, because he's homegrown and he's come through the academy, so they didn't have to spend anything on him. So it went straight into, like, when I was reading, it's like it went straight into like their profits. So as opposed to them signing, I don't know, Nicholas Jackson and then selling him for a profit. This was all 100% profit. So they were able to put that into whatever the debt that they obviously.
But weren't they something like 140 million over or something like that? So like it was like impossible for them to make it up.
I'm sure remember they sold. They had a lot of outings.
Mason Mount 55 million. What's that? Then you got Conor Gallagher. What's that? 40 million. I'm sure they made it up in the end. I'm not.
Because it felt like they were just selling players, and players were just out the door.
It was ridiculous. And who's that striker that they had? And he went on loan to Fulham.
Broja.
No, Broja. Yeah, like they were just getting rid of people like that. So it's like these guys are all from their academy. So the reality is it's all 100% profit that they're making on all of these kind of players. So listen, Chelsea, and they got too many loopholes within their whole system. Like they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
I don't even understand how they got so much loopholes, or how they know all of these things. Like, I know they probably have people
No, but
doing
you know
research,
what?
but it's mad, bro.
Everybody knows them. I don't think it's a case of. I think everybody knows the loopholes. It's about actually thinking. Should we actually do it though? Like, should we actually test it? Because remember, no one's done it. No one's actually done what Chelsea were doing.
8-year contracts
So,
and stuff like that.
exactly. But
Yeah.
then remember, then they ended up getting told off. Like, say, yeah, you can't do that no more. Like, you can't do no 8-9 year.
Yeah,
contract.
they stopped it, innit?
But they closed the gap off. They closed the little loophole after they already successfully.
Exactly. But this is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I'm not gonna
This is
lie
what
though,
I'm
bro.
saying.
I'm not sure how much it does benefit them though, because if these players perform, then fair enough. But 8 years of performing is a very big ask. So when you look at some of their players, you think, shit, you're gonna have to wait 8 years before you can get rid of this guy, like, or at least
maybe they
5
care.
years. You know what I mean?
Do they care though? I feel like they're just a club where there's like, we lose out on you.
It will affect them money wise along the line, though. Do you get what I mean? Like, it was cool for now, but then at some point it probably will, because you got to have numbers go out to bring people in, innit? You can't just keep having, like, I think it's 36 squad members they have, right? And they couldn't register like 10 of them. But they're still getting paid, those players, even if they're not registered. That can't last. Do you know what I mean? You can't keep doing that. Otherwise, you're going to end up bankrupt.
If they win some Premier League, let's hope they don't win this one. But if they
That's
win
what
Premier League,
that's what will fuck them. If they don't win things soon, what Drifty said, that's where they're going to be pissed, because you can't do this for another 3 years, win no trophies, and just, how can you keep spending? You're not making any money. So they need to start winning something. Like,
what do you guys make of Gangan Dean Super Chat? Big up, bro. PTSD with the team title race ain't our thing. Premier League is relentless, so we can't afford to drop points to mid-table teams. Individual errors cost us.
I hear it. I mean, can we not just? I mean, everyone always has a down period in the season, right? Even when Man City were winning the league, there will still be that mad period. You'd be like, right, Man City haven't won for like 3 games. What's going on? But then they'll pick it up again and then go on another run. It can happen. So let's hope that the little couple draws and the performances not being that good at the moment is our little blip. So it's a blip, but it's not a major blip, and then we can pick it back up again and be like, we had that little period where we did drop some points, but we're back on track now, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? We just have to hope that's the case for us, because Newcastle away ain't an easy game. So I don't even think it's that worrying that we got the draw, especially that we should have won and it was just a mistake. The Fulham at home, that hurts because you're supposed to win that game. But we can't. Robertson had his donut moment, and I know it sounds harsh, and I've stuck up for him, but Robertson's why we didn't win that game. 11 men, we smacked Fulham. Look how well we played with 10. 11, and we smacked Fulham. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's a tough one to judge, isn't it? The Tottenham game will be a good barometer of whether we're back or not, because they're going to be bouncing into that game after their 5-0 win today. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Before we kind of wrap up, man. So obviously we know that Chelsea won today 2-1. So they've closed the gap. The other one though was this one, because the Arsenal man them just started losing their mind, bro. I'm just like, I get it, but you man are a ticking time bomb, man. It has to be a win for these guys. If you don't win, it's all over, bro. Any draws, not even a loss, a draw at this moment in time for them, they've lost their mind, bro. I don't know what's going on with their team, to be fair. Set Piece FC, many call them Stoke FC. I don't know.
Stoke, innit? That's what their name is, bro.
What's going on with them, though, bro? Why they can't buy a win at the moment?
Arteta's shit. Let's just keep it a buck, man. He's shit. I mean, all right, shit is too far. He's not as good as he thinks he is.
But the problem is he thinks he's not self-aware, bro.
He has really got delusions of grandeur. He really has. He's walking around like remember when Mourinho come into the league and he puffed out his chest and he called himself the special one? You sat there and you went, he just won the Portuguese league, he won the UEFA Cup, then he won the Champions League. Yo, brother, you're allowed to puff out your chest still. Your accomplishments speak for themselves. You look at Arteta and you're like, so all you've done is won a COVID FA Cup with Emery's team, which Aubameyang dragged you through, and Chelsea would have won if it hadn't been for a few decisions and an injury to Pulisic. And now you think you can walk around acting like, when he sat there and he went, we want to be the best at this, we want to be the best at this, we want to be the best at this. Yeah, brother, I want Beyonce. What's that got to do with anything? You know what I mean? Now, who are you to think that you are good enough as a manager? Bro, you see that brother's got a mural now. The set piece. Everyone know he's really the manager, bruv.
He's got a
Mm.
He's
move.
really the
Can't
manager.
Is that
really-
no, for real.
Yeah, bruv, they paid a Muriel for the set piece coach, bruv, because they realize he's the real one. He's the reason why they're being successful at the moment, bruv. Take away their set pieces, and what do Arsenal actually have? But the set pieces are so good, they're gonna keep winning games.
Yeah, they're gonna keep. Yeah,
They're gonna keep winning games because they're so good at it. You can't even front on that. Love them or hate them, they are excellent at set pieces.
Why can no
It's
one figure it
crazy.
out at this point in the season, though?
People will.
When
I think
you're
eventually
good at it.
people will. I think eventually people will. But right now, they're excellent at it. And every time they get a corner, you think, damn. 50-50
Like, I
chance this is going in, you know? Like every time they get a corner or a free kick in the final third, you go, 50-50 chance this is going in.
Do you
That's
know
how
how
good
mad
they
that
are
is?
at it.
Do you know how
Yeah.
mad that is where you're worried about a set piece as it's
you know when you don't want to give a
running?
corner away. Like I can see in the team, other opposition team, they don't want they will do anything to avoid giving a corner. Like it just.
Oh, I don't-
they'll
can we
get
They
not
a
play
goal.
for corners.
Can we not
Yeah,
go
no,
man
it's-
for? Can we not go man for man then to kind of stop this, bro? Can we not?
I feel like they've trained whatever they do in training. I feel like they've clocked a way that if a team is to do that, they'll find another way. Like it just wouldn't really work. And by the way, as well, you got to remember, as much as they do this set piece thing, the deliveries are top notch though. Like Saka and Rice's deliveries are mad. Like yeah, they are crazy. So that has to be right as well. Then you need the players to actually be good at what they're doing when they actually get there. Gabriel, Saliba, all of these guys. Like, but I think the thing that pisses me off here isn't even Arteta. Say what you want to say, do what you want to do. You're the manager of the team, right? That's fine. It's just the fans, man. And I know I keep going back to it. That's what pisses me off more than anything, because you speak. Remember, Liverpool as fans, not to say we can't, you can do what you want. We didn't really speak until we even won the Champions League. And that was after being in two finals. Well, at that point, two finals and finishing fourth in one of the seasons and then finishing second behind Manchester City by a point. Then we spoke once we won that Champions League. And even then, we didn't even really speak. It was just more like, yeah, you win the Champions League. Obviously, we're the kings of England when it comes to that, blah, blah, blah. And then we win the Premier League. Then we started speaking about, we got the best this, we got the best that, blah, whatever, cool, whether you believe it or not, whatever. But that's when we actually spoke. Arsenal have won nothing, like no trophy other than the FA Cup. Now, I'm not even counting that. They've not won anything. So from when you've not won anything, I think that's what irks fans more, or rival fans, is that big up your team. Of course, it's your team, innit? So you're going to big them up. And your team have gotten like better. Do you get what I'm saying? Over time, right? That's absolutely fine. But you've not won a single thing. But you talk with this air of like, well, we've just come off the back of winning 3 Champions Leagues in a row, 3 FA Cups and 2 Premier Leagues. I'm like, you've won like nothing. But for some reason, you talk down to everybody like, yeah, we're higher than, we're the mighty team. Like, let's keep it a buck. It's Manchester United and Liverpool. Sorry, it's Liverpool, Manchester United when we're talking about England. And in recent history, it's been Manchester City and Liverpool. So when we're doing this kind of conversation, I entertain it. It's calm. We do the banter stuff. We go back and forth. But the reality is, I don't take you that seriously in the grand scheme of things, because you're not that big when we're talking about dining at European top table. Like only Liverpool, Manchester United dine at that table with the Real Madrids, the Bayern Munichs, the Barcelona. Like we sit at that table. And if anything, we sit ahead of Manchester United at that table. You don't sit at that table at all. You can bring us our drinks, that's fine, but you don't sit at the table. And that's the bit that annoys me, is that they're acting like they also sit at this table. That's the bit like it, I don't think you understand. Like it frustrates me. I don't mind you bigging up your team. It is fine. Like big up your team because it's a good team. Chelsea fans don't even big up their team, and they've been more successful than you in recent history. But they don't even big up their team like that. They're telling man about top 4 races and that. These times they're sitting in second, 2 points behind top, and they're still talking about top 4. Arsenal, like you lot's fan base, like it's like, as Drifty said, it's like this self-awareness you hold. You really need to check like the way that you speak, because you're walking into a room full of millionaires. These times you're still trying to scrimp and scrape to catch the bus. Like we can't keep having this conversation. It don't make no sense, bro. It really doesn't make no sense. Like it pisses me off, man. It really pisses me off.
Nah, big up to the Arsenal fans locked in, man, and said you can bring us our drinks, but you can't sit down at the table.
Nah,
no.
bro, they can bring the drink.
Because you're on the clock, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. And
No, but-
we'll leave a tip. We'll leave a tip.
They
I'll be
challenge.
kind. We'll
Okay,
leave a-
they would say in terms of Premier Leagues, they've obviously won more than us in it. So that's where
Yes,
they're probably going to big their chest up and said, "You man only got chess. You've only won one Premier League in 30 years." That's what their rebuttal.
They've only got 3. It ain't like they're Man United who've got like 12. Do you know what I mean? Where like Man United can tell you about yourself. Don't get me wrong, 3 Premier Leagues is cool, but that was 21 years ago, by the way, the last time they won one of them.
Jesus.
Like 3 doesn't give you that much chest. Do you get what I mean? It's like even Chelsea have got 5 or 6, I think.
They just been clocking.
Man
Mourinho
City have
clocked them up.
Man City have
Conte
got
clocked them up.
7 now.
Yeah, because they won 3,
yeah,
then we
they got
nicked
7,
in and won 1, and then they
So
won
Arsenal
4.
haven't even got half of what City have got, and they're walking around acting like they're the. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the,
come
you know what it
on,
is?
man,
It's the
gotta calm
unbeaten
down.
season. That's what they like. They cling on. By the way, that's a fantastic feat, of course, to go a whole season unbeaten. I'll never downplay that. But the way that they talk about Arsenal, sometimes like I had to look back at like, you know, when you look at the trophies and stuff like that. But no, you know what? Even this comment here, let's just even do the it started in 1992. Let's even forget the prior to that, because obviously no one wants to talk about that. Even if you just go from there, when I deep it, I'm like, it's so mad, because I sit there and think to myself, imagine you've gone this whole time, not won one European trophy, like not even a UEFA Cup, like not even like a Conference League, like you've not won. So your European heritage isn't really there. We know you. We Europeans respect Arsenal because of Henry, like, and that's just him, the player. We don't respect you because of the team. It's Henry, it's Patrick Vieira, it's the certain players that you had, which were absolutely phenomenal players. But when we're talking about European heritage, come on, bro. Like I said, Arsenal fans, they proper irk me with the you just talk down to everybody. And I'm like, I don't get where you get this snobbish behavior. Like 21 years ago, you said Drift, like 21 years. That's a long time ago, you know.
21 years
Come on,
since they
man.
won the league.
Come on, man.
Which is incredible. I know 9 years is a long time, but they're only 9 years away from what they used to make fun of us for. It comes at you fast. I never forget sitting there talking to my brother the year when Fergie left, and then they weren't doing that well. And he was like, "Oh, but we'll never be as crap as you." I said, "Bruv, life comes at you fast. We're here 12 years later, and Man United still ain't even close to winning the league." I'm like, "See, you're a third of the way there, bro. Life comes at you fast, bro. You know what I mean? You need to check yourself. Do you think any Liverpool fan or player thought in the late 80s, early 90s, it would take 30 years before Liverpool won again after all of our dominance? Not a chance. You know what I mean? It can just happen like that, man. It can just come out of nowhere. And the no European trophy thing with Arsenal is hilarious. I gotta be honest. Like one day we're all just gonna have a conversation as a football community and just say, at what point do you start telling somebody they're not a big club if they've never won a European trophy? At what point, honestly, you ain't even got as much European heritage as Nottingham Forest or Aston Villa.
But like, just the names that you're saying, like I'm thinking about it now. Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa, like.
If I'm not mistaken, Everton have more European pedigree than Arsenal.
That's mad if they do, bro.
And they can't sit at the table with your Ajax, your AC Milan, your Bayern Munich. Like, that's real heritage in Europe. Do you get what I mean? Even Juventus ain't even really European heritage. They've only won it twice. I say only, I don't mean to be... But you know what I mean? Like,
but that's the same as Forest.
Juve are. And even they aren't really seen as like European royalty. And they've won it twice. And I think they've got like 38 Serie A titles, right? They're like record Serie A holders. Do you know what I mean? But they've only got 2 Champions League. So you don't even really talk about Juve like that. Do you know what I mean? In Europe.
Yeah, Juve don't get looked at like...
but to be fair, Juve, after they started doing the scandal with all the match fixing and that, then people stop looking at them seriously. They're like, nah, man, Juventus, bro. Because Juventus was the team. Growing up, you're seeing Vieri, Del Piero, and all these, man. Nedveds and the rest of the man then playing, you're like, cold team. But then once you found out, there was that paying off refs, you're like, oh, did you... So you man had talent. Why did you do that? You didn't have to do that. Man City, bro. 1 win in, 11 now? That's crazy.
We got
Crazy,
Asian
bro.
Pops. Have they got to 9 finals? Because I haven't paid attention to how many finals Arsenal have lost.
9 finals.
No, you're talking about for us where big boys they beat us. Is it about
I don't
Forest or
know.
Arsenal?
Oh, this one here.
Yeah, I
This
don't
one they've
know.
played
I
9
don't know.
times.
Obviously, like I'm guessing that Pops has actually like researched it. So I didn't even know they've been to that many finals. But even if they have, even that's kind of mad. Imagine losing that many. Oh, Juve, sorry. Oh, Juve have got to the Juve have been to quite a few finals and lost. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But that's what I mean. And we don't even look at Juve's European heritage. Like, generally speaking, I don't think anybody looks at them and go, like, you more look like AC Milan speaks for itself. And then Inter Milan will be the next team that you would look at from the Italian league where you go, that's more of that European pedigree type team. I think Inter have won it 3 times. I think Juve have won it twice. Milan have won it 7. So how can Arsenal be called a big club when they don't even have as many Juve, even though they will be considered a big club, not European wise, like nobody really bigs them up like that. So I just find it weird.
Can we as a community
about Henry? If Henry wasn't there, all right. We know Henry is the one. He's the one that when we look at Arsenal, first name that comes to mind, Henry, Vieira. Probably there's another 2 or 3 in there. Bergkamp in there. Are we saying if them 3 in particular didn't play at that club, do you think Arsenal would have
any heritage?
Yeah, like, and I don't want to be disrespectful because I think that's
to a degree they would, because they did have the team, like for example when they won in '89, George Graham's boys and stuff. So they would, but it wouldn't be able to stand up in modern football though. They'd be in the mud for modern football. Their club historically would still have history, but in the modern era, they'd be in the mud. They would have absolutely nothing to talk about.
Because they don't even rate the other guys. They mention them from time to like the Lorenz and all these guys, but they didn't. The Arsenal fans, you ask them like, "Who's your?" They don't even mention these guys: Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira, Perez.
It would be Rocastle, Ian Wright. It would be Tony Adams. It would be those guys. Would be like, who are all phenomenal players, by the way. But they're so far back. It wouldn't really feel like they wouldn't be able to talk about that far. Like, come on, that would be like us sitting there talking about Barnes and Rush. Everyone would be like, "Oh my god, you're still talking about them lot? Like, what the hell?" Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be crazy, bro. Like, we can't be sitting there still talking about Dalglish, Rush.
That will take the piss. Can we have a conversation? Yeah,
go on.
Can we just sorry, just cut you. But I was just thinking about this. Can we as a football community, because we need to get definitions of things properly. Like, we need someone to really come up with the definition of like the word world class and stuff like that. But we'll leave that for another day. Can we please come up with the actual what defines you as a big club, and can you remain a big club even without success, or are you just a historic club? I.e., would Nottingham Forest still be classed as a big club, or would you just call them a historic club? Because obviously we know 2 European, 2 European cups, but we know what they've not done anything of note since then, kind of thing. Because, for example, when you say the big 6 in England, we all see it, obviously, like, you know, all the channels that do it, like say like the Terrace or Monts and them, and all of big 6. What does that mean? The team straight away off the rip, you just say Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Manchester City, right? Why are Tottenham in that conversation?
Sounds better, isn't it? Top 6.
No. To be fair, I think they have collectively more so than any other team been in the top 6 since the Premier League started. Like, so if you go back through the history of the Premier League, they're more so than any other teams have finished in the top 6.
But then why don't we then? It's like, why don't we then extend that? Why is there not like a top 8? Why is there not like a top, like, why did it have to go to like 6? When I was younger, there was only 3 teams that anybody even knew, let alone whatever. Liverpool, Manchester United, and Arsenal. As I got maybe into the 2000s, Chelsea, obviously with Jose Mourinho and all of that, they rightfully so, they then get put into that conversation. Manchester City, rightfully so, they then now get put into that kind of conversation. But it's more due to the success, and Chelsea even still had kind of recent success in terms of winning the Champions League not too long ago. So you can still include them in conversations, right? I feel like we just keep including or keep these teams in there, and where they've got like these massive fan bases around the world, they can stay there. So when we start doing these conversations about European heritage or just heritage in the general sense, they start to feel like they're bigger than they are. And I'm like, no, I don't look at Spurs as a big team like that. I don't look at Arsenal as a big team like that. I look at you more now as you're quite historic in terms of, if you've gone 21 years about, like Liverpool, you end up just becoming historic, because the reality is, if you're not really winning anything of note, it's difficult to kind of stay there. But Liverpool was still kind of winning FA Cups, League Cups, UEFA Cup treble, you know, in 2001. Like, we were still doing enough to keep you like on the edge of that conversation where you're like, nah, they're still a big club, you know, what it is. Whereas Spurs haven't won anything, but we still call them, yeah, they're part of the big. I'm like, no, like, we need to start. Can we kick people out? Can there be a voting system every year? Like, there needs to be something done, because I just don't like the conversations always being had. And then all of a sudden now it's like, yeah, well, Arsenal, a massive club, 21 years. In that time, it's just been FA Cups, no League Cup, no UEFA Cup, no other trophy outside of the FA Cup since Arsene Wenger last won the Premier League. Come on, guys. Like, that's not... Wigan have won the FA Cup in that time. Like, what are we doing here? Like, there has to be a conversation at some point.
I think the top 6 thing, bruv, is probably because that's where the European places are. Like, if I was just pandering a guess, I think it's because the top 6 teams in the league finish in Europe, innit? So that's probably why, like, how people came to the conclusion you're in the big 6 if you always finish in Europe. I think that's because, remember, the top 4 became a thing when they started letting 4 teams into the Champions League. Yeah. So top 6, I think, is probably because then the other 2 teams get the Europa League, innit? So that's probably how the conversation became about how you're a top 6 club. Probably, if I'm just pandering a guess at it. But again, remember, for the last 7 years, prior to Arteta finishing second twice, I think Tottenham finished above Arsenal. I think it was 7 years in a row that Tottenham finished above Arsenal. So I guess they kind of deserve to be in that conversation on that premise. If Arsenal was still always going to call themselves a big club, and then you're going 3, 4, 5, 6 years and you're always finishing behind Tottenham, it's like, well, Tottenham have got to be involved in the conversation, I guess, if you keep finishing below them all the time. Yeah. So I guess that's probably... But at least Tottenham fans are humble.
Yes, true. Yeah, true.
They might be annoying at times, but they're still humble. Like, they'll never sit there and tell you how great they are and how much better their players are than yours. You know what I mean? Whereas with the Arsenal fan base, they will really sit there and say things like, Saka is better than Mane ever was. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. Yeah, I saw that.
No, was that a tweet? Someone tweeted that nonsense.
Yeah. Was that? What's that guy's name, man? It's the inverted.
The amount of fans that was like, and why don't just mention Mane? He's better than Salah too. I'm just like, wow. Are you lot trolling, or do you really believe this stuff?
It's hard to know this. It's hard to know this now with social media. It's because
Ray
sometimes
is as good as Alisson. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
But you know what they use though.
That?
Yeah, I remember.
The conversation always flips to Saka's better than Salah was at 23. I'm like, I don't care what Salah was doing at the age of 20. Like, we're talking about Salah today and Saka today. Like, what Saka is doing at 23 is amazing. He's a dope player. Like, of course, everyone knows that. But why do you then have to go back in time 10 years ago to compare the two? That's the bit that always throws me, because I'm like, but surely we're just judging the player today, right? Like, I'm not judging Messi from 10 years ago. Like, you have to just judge him what he's on today. So why would I go back in time to say, all right, when he was 23 versus when this guy was 23? I'm like, well, that don't really make sense. Just judge when he's 23, this guy's 33. Is he better than him? Like, overall in your head, is he better than him? Of course.
But they can have that conversation all they want, G. It's not even true. Go and look at Basel, Fiorentina, and Roma.
Roma, yeah.
People are acting like the Premier League's the only league to watch. They were calling him the Egyptian Zidane or something like that when he was at Basel. He was balling out at Basel. Then he had that little stint where Chelsea ruined him for a little while. Then go and look how well he was playing for Fiorentina and Roma. Like, Salah's always been a baller. Just the Chelsea bit. Everyone just looks at the Chelsea bit and goes, for 2 years he was rubbish when he went. He went to Chelsea at 20 years old and they ruined him. The same way they did De Bruyne, the same way they did Musiala. Do you know how many players Chelsea should have in their team right now that they they ruined and they didn't think were good enough, and they offloaded them, and then look what they went on to do. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
Do you know what? I wanted Salah when he was at Basel, but I was like, do you know what? He came to us when the time was right. He came to us when he was ready to come to Liverpool.
I don't know, no, bro. If we'd have got him in 13-14 when Chelsea stole him just because they knew we wanted him, we might have won the league, you know. I'm not gonna lie, like he had the stardust, bro. Go look at the way he's playing at Basel. Yeah, we bring him into that team.
This guy, bro, big up, Chris.
Big up, Chris. Love, brother.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
That he had was mad.
Yeah, like remember, see 13-14. I'm telling you, that little sprinkle of dust that Mo would have added that year, we'd probably get over the line and win the league that year, you know.
Oh yeah, in terms of for the league, but he was so raw blood. The finishing weren't all there yet. He was just rapid.
Yeah. He was still finding himself. That's true. But
Salah,
young Salah and Coutinho in the same team.
That would have been mad. But we got to see it though. But then Coutinho decided to say his back was hurting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said his back was hurting, and you know what I mean. He didn't want to play for us no more. And then end the story with that one. But what about this 1 win in 11 for City right now, bro? They just keep losing. 2 goals in 2 minutes or a minute.
Yo, if he weren't Pep, he'd have no job tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious, bro. And you know what? I love it. I know this might sound like I'm being really bad, man, but some of the biggest heartbreaks I've ever experienced in my life is because of Man City. So I couldn't care less how bad they feel. I hope you don't get any sleep. I swear to you. I hope you don't get any sleep. Yeah, because I know I didn't. You see, when that whole thing happened, when flipping, what's that donut's name? And he made that mistake, and then flipping Gundogan gets the winning goal, and then we're 10 minutes away from winning the league and all that. You see all of those moments there? Remember when Brighton went 1-0 up and was hoping, but didn't last for long, and then that heartbreak there, 97 points and not winning the league. Yo, I hope City fans, City management, City players, I hope you can't sleep. I hope you're walking around, pacing up and down, wondering how your life became like this. I hope every bit of pain you feel you deserve, you cheating bastards. But imagine this. Imagine if the 130 sticks. Imagine if they get a hefty punishment. How do they fix this problem without money? They can't.
Nah, you need money.
Without money, they can't fix this problem, you know.
Bernardo Silva said in the last couple of minutes, man, we played like we were the under 15s.
Nah, they did, man. That was
true. No, but that's what Bernardo Silva said. He said the man themselves.
Nah, yeah, I see that. Yeah, nah, they, bro, like Man City was so dumb. Like,
how do they fix it? I don't know, bro. Without money, coaching, man, he's one of the best coaches in the world. So
no, but the squad's dead on their feet, bro. A lot of people forget playing for Pep is just as strenuous, if not physically, mentally, as Klopp. So when people are like, "Oh, playing for Klopp takes a lot out of you," playing for Pep takes a lot out of you, and that's the reason why a lot of these players are drained and they're done physically, mentally. They're done. So what do you do when you lose De Bruyne, you lose Bernardo Silva, because I think those two go. You lose Kyle Walker, maybe lose Edison. Rodri, we don't know if he's going to be the same player.
They said he's running again, but
I know, but we know that the ACL fit, you never know, innit? He probably will, but you never know, and he might still take like a year to fully get back to being who he was. Who else have they? Doku, not good enough. Grealish, not good enough. I'm not gonna lie, you look through their team, guys, and you think this is going to take a lot of investment to improve and replace a lot of these players that are either leaving or have ran the race the same way like Henderson and Flacco and that. Like they'd ran their race, it was over. Then they weren't capable anymore. And you look at it and you go, they need about 500 mil to fix this problem. Realistically,
with the inflation in terms of transfer,
yeah, bro,
it's gonna be mad. Just even a random
spend any money. Real talk, even Pep, the genius that he is, how do they truly fix this problem? It's gonna be techie. It's gonna be real techie for City, and I wish you the best of luck. Not.
Nah, he said, I see Scraps of Korea, I see that. He said he wants a 25 to 30 man squad now. But that's where he messed up anyway. Like
Mm.
I say messed up. How can I say a guy who's won 4 titles messed up? Okay, he didn't mess up, but I feel with City right now, because now it's 1-11, we're done now. I think they went into the season and he believed his own hype, which by the way he should do because he just come
Yeah, of
off winning
course.
4
4 in a
titles.
row, bro.
So yeah, so I understand why you believed in your own shit, but yo, like I think you went a year too far now. You know, like for Klopp, we were like, yeah, now we kept Fabinho, like you say Fabinho, Hendo, and all these guys. That's 1 year too far. That was only after like 2-3 years. This guy's done 4. It's now 1 year too many. Like he couldn't go again for a 5th year with the same players that he's got.
Do you think
Bro,
as
come
well,
on.
yeah, G, because I always thought with their attacking players, right, when he had like Mahrez, Sterling, obviously Alvarez in recent seasons as well, when they had all of these man fit, yeah, and I'm just like, well, Mahrez don't start, but he comes off the bench, he's hitting 17 goals and whatever assist. Sterling might not be the greatest of finisher, but a threat, penalties, scoring goals, important goals. And I was looking at it, and he was just like, nah, I don't want Sterling. Nah, Mahrez. Like, you know, when you do that stubborn thing where you think, I don't need these guys because I'm that guy, which is fine because he's won wherever he's gone. But I'm just like, bro, as soon as you got rid of Alvarez and you only had one striker, and I was watching Alvarez coming into games, sitting in behind Haaland at times or playing for Haaland and scoring important goals or getting them off the mark early so then the rest of the team can start cooking. And just to like get rid of him, and I know it's partly to be playing times, but not just taking away your pride for a minute and go, do you know what? I need these type of players in my team. Like you just going, Haaland can just do it on his own. It is mad to me, bro.
It was to cook the books, though. I think, and you know, I think it was to cook the books because they got like 80 mil for him, didn't they?
Yeah,
Alvarez.
mad money, bro.
And they only paid like 29 for him, so like they tripled their profit pretty much. So I think that's what I think everybody they sold, bro. I think Sane was the only one who went because he didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I think all the other players you just said, Mahrez, at his age, they got good money for him. I think all the players that they let go, I think it was like Sterling, they got 50, I think, for Sterling.
Yeah, they got
right?
money for him, bro.
I think it was all to you know, because they've got to have known that the book stuff is gonna come back, and they were trying to find ways to like, do you get what I mean? Like get themselves back on side. Because it's true, there's quite a few players that they let that like the Mahrez and the Alvarez ones don't make any sense. They don't. Both of them are top quality ballers. They were the goal getters in the team outside of the striker as well. Mahrez was a double figures guy every season. Alvarez was a double figures guy every season. And I think they've just underestimated letting them go to cook the books on what their overall contribution would be. Like Doku is a very, very tricky winger, but his end product is the worst in the league, if I'm being honest with you. Grealish hasn't scored a goal in the whole calendar year. He hasn't scored a goal in 2024. That's insane.
He's got a couple more games though, isn't he? So is he?
Bro, does it look like he will? Like that is insane. He's £100 million player and he hasn't scored in 2024. That's mad, bro.
Wait, he said I heard Grealish and Bobby are in the same amount of Premier League goals. 160. Raw.
Bro, I'm just looking at Mahrez here. He's been playing in the league for time. He was at Leicester for like 1, 2, 3, 4. He was at Leicester for 5 years, 4 in the Prem. I didn't realize he was at Leicester for that long.
That's mental, you know. But like them, and then Arsenal doing the stubborn thing as well. They opted to become Liverpool of old and tried to get like a false 9, no striker up top, and it's now coming to bite them as well because now they ain't got no strikers to score goals and they rely on Saka too much.
Oh no, you know what happened with that one, innit? They thought he was going to be the 8. When they got him in, they realized he wasn't good enough to be an 8, and they've just had to play him where he's best, even though he's not great, because they spent 65 mil. For Arsenal, 65 mil is a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why they haven't bought a striker since, because I think the fans don't want to accept it. But Arsenal spent a lot of money, and their money's probably ran out. And I don't think they can just go out and buy. Remember, they got 2 players, Jesus and Havertz, of 530 grand a week wages.
Are they both not? Oh, combined or
combined? Yeah.
Okay. Shit, I thought that man.
Yeah. It's 290 or 280 for Havertz and 250 for Jesus. So when you think about how much money they've spent on them in terms of wages and their overall outlay as well, 50 for Jesus, 65 for Havertz, they don't have money like that. Arsenal haven't been winning things for their income to have kept up with the spending, because they have spent a lot of money. I think it's 600-700 million that Arteta spent in 5 years. So eventually you got to slow down. And I think that's the reason why they even loaned Rare and then didn't buy him until this year, because it was a bit of a financial thing. You look at their summer, I think they spent about 80 mil. They recouped 80 mil, but maybe they had to only spend what they made because they don't have a lot of money left at the moment. So that could be what it is. Havertz wasn't a good striker for Chelsea. They didn't buy him to be a striker. They bought him to be an 8 and it didn't work. And if you look at the profile of Moreno, that's what they thought Havertz will be. Strong, tall, good for set pieces. Do you know what I mean? Because this is the angle they were going down, innit? And then Havertz just wasn't good enough to do that role. So they bought Moreno, who's very similar in stature, because now they're hoping he can do for the price they could afford what the plan was for with Havertz. But now Havertz has to play because you can't have a £65 million player on the bench who's getting $290 a week. Arsenal can't do that. That's not an Arsenal thing. That's a PSG or a Man City thing. Arsenal can't afford to do that. So it's a bit techie for Arsenal right now. You know what I mean?
Did you rate? Because before Havertz came to the Prem, right? I looked at him as like an inverted left winger /10, Leverkusen, and he was balling out. Cold left foot, could dribble, skillful, could finish. And then he just come to the Prem, bro, and he turned into this. I don't even know, bro. Just this dud of a player.
Though. I think he's been misprofiled a lot, though. That's his, like, I don't feel like it's really
striker, though. They throw him up front now, bro. Germany, to be fair, bags for Germany up top, to be fair to him. Probably scores in every game he plays for them, but
Bundesliga attacks, maybe?
But he looked so, bro, he was so good.
Timo Werner was banging him in, before he went Chelsea.
He was fucking up. He was. Remember, we wanted to sign him like that time.
I was on, when Timo was banging, I was like, yeah, get him in the squad, bro. Rapid and can finish, throw him in there.
Until you realize he's.
But
if you don't like Nunes, you don't like Werner.
No. Do you think it's because he didn't make the move to Liverpool where he just started being a dud, or was he always a dud? In you guys' opinion?
No, I've got a feeling he kind of was always a dud.
Okay.
But maybe it's youthfulness, or maybe he's just lost so much confidence it could never come back. That can happen. That actually can happen, You can actually lose so much confidence, you're just never, ever the same ever again. Like a fighter who gets knocked out and now he's gun shy because he's scared he'll get knocked out. Maybe that can happen with footballers. Once their confidence goes and then everyone's laughing at them and whatnot, they just can't ever get back to being who they were. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, bro, it might be true. You know what I mean? You never know. You never know. It actually might be true. You know what I mean?
Nah, because he was, bro. He's got the speed. He can beat most defenders for speed, and he gets into the box, and then he's just like, I don't know what to do now. I don't know where I'm going to
be a finisher. That's what I mean. That's when it's like the insecurities, the worry. I don't know. He's in his own head too much. I don't know, bro. I don't know. But Havertz has never been that great, I don't think. I think he was good. He was misprofiled, you're right. And then, Arsenal are stuck with him now. What are they going to do? They're going to put him on the bench at $290 a week? I don't know.
I didn't get your take on these two, though, Jeff. Me and G was chopping it up in the chat. Should these two be in a red card as well?
The Robertson one, when you see in fast motion, I can understand where there's a possibility that a yellow card is okay, even though technically we've seen people sent off for that. So that one is like 60-40. I'm not as angry at that one, even though, look where he's kicked him. It is bad. We've seen people go for that. The Gravenberch one, there isn't even a doubt in my mind that is a red card. The ball ain't even in the picture ends. That is how far away Pereira is from the ball ain't even in the picture, bro. At least with the Tete one, we can see the ball. The ball ain't even in the picture, bruv. What is the excuse for what he's done? Gravenberch could have been out for the season with that tackle, That is a red all day. And then he's the one who scores the goal.
Yeah, they said about 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later, I think they said the time was after he did that to scoring.
Exactly, bruv. That's what's even more. And we got to remember, so if they go down to 10, the game's done. So it isn't even just about he was the one who scored the goal. They stop attacking, part the bus, and we probably just win 1-0 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? They would have just parked the bus, would eventually broke them down, got a goal, 1-1-0. It would have been nice. We would have had the 3 points. Of course, that's a red card, bro. That's outrageous. And I know you lot was talking just before I jumped in about the penalty with Gomez. That I think it was a penalty. I've seen purely for the fact that I'm not hearing any of these excuses they give, because I've seen the defender go to clear the ball when he's in control of the ball, and someone just throws their leg in the way with absolutely no control. Their foot's just there. They get kicked. You get a penalty for that. You get penalties now for a handball when you're falling over and you need your hand to support yourself, and it hits your hand, and they go penalty. It's hit your hand. But you're telling me that man cleaned out Gomez, and now what your excuse is going to be is, oh, he was going to block the shot, so he didn't mean it. So fucking what? So what? Do you know what I mean? So what? If I accidentally bump into you, I still have to say sorry, right? Why? Because it was an accident. I just bump into you and just keep it pushing. I just walk off like I never done it. No, it was an accident. I didn't mean it. But I still turn around and go, sorry, mate. Sorry about that, bro. Yeah. And we laugh and then we keep it pushing because I've still got to take accountability for what I did. It's a foul. I don't care if it was on purpose. I don't care what it is. It was a foul. The explanations that they give are just, they are laughable. They are actually laughable. It's like when we got the kung fu kick in the chest from Doku. Got the ball. He got the ball. But that didn't matter. That's never mattered. That's never mattered. Jones got the ball before he fouled Son. No, Basuma say still got sent off.
We watched the replay in that drift. He didn't even get the ball. McAllister chested it away and then he caught him.
Exactly.
And I'm like, these men have the video. So how did I could see this? People can see it. He literally got to the ball, chests it, and then Doku fly. I'm like, all right, even if, for an example, even if they get there at the same time, you're telling me your foot being that high is not dangerous play, bro? That's not.
Well, didn't Diaz get booked for his bicycle kick in the Fulham game? They called it a high foot dangerous play. It was a bicycle kick, bro. That's actually part of football, a bicycle kick, and you booked him for that. But yet Doku got away with a kung fu kick in man's chest.
And then they said that
they got to change these rules.
You know what? These men ain't even trying to hide it, you man. So Coot exposed the thing, We all know the fraudulence within the PGML and the bias towards Liverpool. They put it under the rug for a little while, dismissed him real quick, made it easy news, and now these men are just back to skanking us like it never happened. These men are moving like diplomats. They're actually moving. You know when a diplomat parks in a disabled spot and walks off with a smile because he knows he ain't no one ain't gonna tell him shit,
no ticket, bro.
Yeah, they ain't no one.
All you guys who park in disabled spots, you're going to hell.
You know what I'm saying? A diplomat can carry a gun in England and can't even get in trouble. He's a diplomat, bro. Untouchable. These men are moving like they're diplomats, bro. They are untouchable. No one can't say nothing to them. No one can't do them nothing. We can see the cheating and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
We can't do anything about it.
We need to
he still gets paid.
Man said one for Coot.
Man said he still gets paid, man. They've told the public that Coot is sacked. He still gets paid, bro. I guarantee you Coot still gets paid.
Man said Coot is just right there. They said, no, we got to scam these, man. Can't have our bridging game sacked. No,
we don't ever see footage of the VAR thing unless they choose to show us it. Coot's up there every weekend, bro. He's up there every weekend, man. No, don't tell me nothing, bro. He brings the split, them man, they bun it up, they laugh, they skank us, they move on. We can't do nothing about it.
That's actually interesting.
They're drawing lines on the table and the computer ends. That's what they're doing, bro. That's what they're doing, bro. Coot showed us what he's about, bro. He showed us, bro.
Man said they hate these men, hate our manager, hate our team. And I'm just like, is he the one? Is he from Manchester, by the way? Coot. Is he one of the dons from Manchester?
Greater Manchester, I think.
Greater Manchester, which is like a high percentage of the referees. So some of them might think the same. They might be along the same lines,
they
bro.
They all think the same, bro. They all think the same, man. We've been getting skanked. Remember when Jota got sent off for not even touching someone?
Yeah, bro. To this day, I still don't understand it.
But Gravenberch gets that.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Even the one, remember the McAllister one as well. he got sent off, and then they had to rescind it. They was like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
we had to go
Because
down to 10
they
minutes."
saw how laughable it was. I think we
I
got
was
4 apologies from the PJOMO that season. What's your apology do? We dropped the points now. It doesn't help.
No, but that's the thing. What's the point of apologizing to us, bro? We don't get the 3 points. It doesn't change the game. I think if you make a mistake, you should just give us the goal, give us the win. I think if it's that bad, just give us the win, innit?
Yeah. Imagine the cheek of telling your girl you're sorry when you got someone else pregnant. Taking a piss.
Sorry, babe.
What does the apology do? I'm sorry, babe. All right. There's still a kid on the way. You might as well just not. You're taking liberties saying
You
sorry.
could be a big family, bro. That's what he said.
Yeah, you're taking liberties, man. What are you doing? What's the apology for? You don't mean it. It's mad, bro.
Big up, man. The Spurs one, that Spurs with the offside goal, bro. To this day, I still don't know what's going on.
It's mad.
So offside goal, red cards, invading space, so a man can kick you in your chest. But do you remember the one against Villa? I can't remember the season when it was what's my man for Villa, the centre back that got Gerrard sacked, man, because he decided and he had the ACL.
Ming.
And he fly kick Gakpo when he was clean through on goal in his chest, and he had the Wolverine marks, and he got a yellow. And I was like, ref, he was clean through. He said, nah, it's a yellow card. So you can kick man in their chest, and you get yellow card, or kick man in their chest and say you're invading their space. Can step on my brethren's legs, kick man in his knee, and they go, listen, show us offsides, and it's not offside. Tell us you can't stop the play because the ball's still. No, man, it's not about.
And they hate you, bro. Like they as just said, there's nothing you can even do. So at this point, that's why I never get mad at none of these. I'm just like, what do you want me to do? Like, I've just got to try and find a way to win the game without having that being like so.
How much pressure that is, bro, when you have to try and win. Like, I'm seeing our players wrestled to the ground. I'm seeing our guys getting pushed. I'm seeing our guys getting clipped, and they go, nah, get up. Mo gets dragged to the ground a lot in the penalty box. Nah, get up, man. Stop diving.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm seeing man getting penalties for like stepping beside their foot. Not even on their foot, just beside their foot. And they're getting penalties, bro. And we can't even. Man can just hold man around their way, drag man to the ground and get nothing for it.
Yep.
Oh, no, man.
Do you know what's even more crazy? This is what really confuses me about the way the referees say and do things as well, but there's no consistency. So with the Robertson red card at the weekend, the ref didn't blow the whistle until Jimenez missed his shot. So he played advantage, and then Jimenez missed his shot. Then he blew the whistle. When you play the advantage, if the player fucks up the advantage, it's not supposed to be pulled back. You give the advantage. If that player messes up the advantage, that's not the only way you pull it back is if the advantage is. So say you think there's going to be advantage. Say Van Dijk tackled Jimenez. There was no advantage. So then that's normally when it's supposed to be pulled back. But Jimenez tried to chip the goalie and just fucked it up. It gets cleared off the line. Isn't that supposed to go for a throw-in? Because you played advantage. But they just didn't do anything with the advantage.
Yeah.
Then I heard a rumor, that when you're judging a situation, it's also down to whether the player who's fouled is going to reach the ball as well. So it isn't always just about being the last man. And if you look at the angle of the way Wilson kicks the ball, without being fouled, he kicked it so far, he would have never gotten it. That's why it went to Jimenez. He's never getting on the end of that because he kicked it so far away from himself. So there's even some ways you can look at it and go, it's even kind of scandalous that Robertson was sent off. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, because of course it was.
Of course it's a foul.
But you play the advantage, but no advantage was gained. That's not our fault. Jimenez tried to be all fancy and shit. That's got nothing to do with us. And then you think about that rule that says, is the player going to reach the ball after the foul is made? And I'm like, so it isn't even 100% clear. Robertson should have been sent off in that Fulham game. If you're going by the letters of the laws of how they bro.
If Jimenez had scored, what would have happened to Robertson?
If it had gone in, bro, I just think it's a goal and we play on. That's the rules. You play the advantage. And I think that's how it goes. I just think the advantage is given. You score a goal, boom, that's it. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
It would have been
I-
similar to like the
I'm
one
sure that's
when
how it-
Nunes scored against Villa, wouldn't it? When was it Mo that got taken out and then Nunes ran onto it and then finished it? But yeah,
I mean, that
it's
was worse because Cook said it weren't even a foul. That was even worse.
Yeah, that was.
yeah,
bugging,
waved
yeah,
it away. He said
He
that.
waved it away. He said it weren't even a foul, bro. So,
Lineker said, I found it an extraordinary decision. He basically said he didn't understand because he explained exactly what he said, Drift. There was no way Wilson was getting on the end of that ball. So it's not a sending off. It's a foul and it's a yellow card, but it's not stopping a goal scoring opportunity. And that's why he got sent off, because he stopped a goal scoring opportunity. I'm like, but he didn't though, because the touch was that way. Virgil was coming back. So where was he planning? Where was he gonna go? What, past Virgil? Shoot into the ball went so far, he'd have to have run. Virgil would have got there. If Jimenez weren't there, Virgil would have just been there to get that.
and they got the goal scoring opportunity, even if you include Jimenez, and he fluffed it. He tried to be all silky and shit. If he just puts his foot through that, he might have scored it. But he tried to chip the goalkeeper. Van Dijk clears it. That should have just been booking for Robbo, out for a throw-in. Like, it really, like, it's, bro, I'm so baffled as to how these things just happen. We get messed up by it, and then we're just supposed to just keep it pushing. Like, we're really supposed to just keep it pushing. Do you know what I mean? The same way when we were younger and our little brother would do something wrong, and then as the older brother, we'll get in trouble because we're supposed to be keeping an eye on him. Remember that? Remember, you would be the one who would get in trouble if your little brother did something. You couldn't question it. There was nothing you could do about it. You just had to take the licks or take the telling
it's like
off.
an unwritten rule, isn't it? Like, it
just and you know what I mean? And you just had to deal with it. So right now, we're just like the older sibling, just getting punished for stuff, and we can't even, like, there's no explanation.
Like, I chose for you to go and have another one, so now there's a rule.
Bro, rule talk, I didn't choose for you to have another one.
Yeah, you go and have another one. Now I have to obey by certain rules now. What? I had no decision in this. I didn't make no decision in this. You know,
how many of us have got in trouble because something happened to our little brother or sister while we're playing out? It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me.
Told man to go and sit down and chill. He wants to go and run around and do madness, scrape up his whole knee now. Oh, it's your fault. You should have been what? No, I'm playing football with the band then, bro. What do you want me to do?
Ideally, do you know what it is? It's your fault, mum and dad, for letting me have to be 11 years old watching him. Because at 11 years old, I shouldn't be.
That's what I used to
him.
always say, but
you know, I'm way too young to be watching him.
Yeah,
but you know what? You wanted to do whatever you wanted. You know, when you become a grown up, you're like, 2 hours out the house, mum and dad were by themselves. Yeah, I see what they were playing there. Games they were playing there. I see the games. You know what I mean? And now, you know why dad's really vexed? Because mum ain't in the mood no more.
Yeah,
that's why dad's really vexed.
Why he's mad,
she's seen her little baby with a grazed knee. So she ain't in the mood anymore. That's why dad's really.
Nah, he's mad. He's like, yo, you should have been watching him. He's like, wait. No, but it's so mad, bro. You had no choice in the making, and you now have to abide by this unwritten rule. And it's the same for us, bro. We support our team. We love our team. But there's an unwritten rule now. When they make a decision, there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing whatsoever.
You can talk about it. You can go back and forth. Then you have rivals telling you, nah, man, it ain't, just to trigger you off. That ain't a foul. You're like, come on, bro. Let's be serious. No wonder there's no change, because they know they've already pit us against each other, innit? We're in our section. They're in their section. So as soon as something happens, they're like, let me laugh at my rivals, innit? Who cares? They know what they've done, bro. See, that's why they will always win.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, listen, man, we'll leave it there, man. Big up to Drift, big up to G, big up to the chat, man. Interesting conversation, man. I don't know when we'll win again in the Premier League. Tottenham's next. Smoked up a team 5-0. Normally we beat Spurs, though. Normally.
I don't know, you know, they're a bit of a bogey team for us, bro, to be honest.
Are they a bogey? Yeah, man, I swear we smoked them up every time. Even when what was it, 9 men, bro?
I don't know, you know. Like, think about it. In 18-19, they got a draw at Anfield. That messed us up when you think about the fact that we only finished 1 point behind. Remember when the dive, the
Harry Kane? No, not Harry Kane. What's that idiot youth's name, bro?
Yeah, I can't remember
his
name.
In the box after Mo scored. Yeah, Lamella.
When we were chasing the quad, remember they got a 1-1 draw at Anfield. Effectively, that point there messed us up from winning the league. There's been a couple times, you know, Tottenham are a little bit of a bogey team for us. I got to be honest. They are a little bit of a bogey team for us. I know we beat them in the Champions League final, but they are a little bit of a bogey team. Lamella, that's it.
Lamella, bro.
They are a little bit of a bogey team for us. They
we
are
beat them 4-2 this year, obviously, in last season. We lost 2-1. That was a red card. We won 4-3, 2-1, 1-1, 2-2. We won 3-1, 1-2-1, 1-1-0, 1-2-1, 1-2-0, 1-2-1, 1-2-1. Yeah, and that's I'm going back to like 2018, 2-2, and then the 4-1. That 4-1 at Wembley when Kane and them, man, they badded us up still.
Well, I hope so. But I don't even like looking at that stuff, because we always notoriously.
I know we always, yeah.
And then look what happened this time.
It'll probably be a high-scoring game, innit? What was the last one when we beat them 4-3, man? I remember that day, 4-3, and I was out.
The Jota winner, yeah.
I was so mad, yeah, because when I saw it popped up on my, because I was out, and then it popped up on my phone saying, free, and I just shot my phone on 3-3. And literally, as soon as I shot, I felt like a minute went by, and then we went 4-3, and I was like, you know, when your whole my mood dropped. And then my mood just came. I was like, yeah.
Football does that, man. Football does that.
But yeah, fingers crossed, man, we can win. But they leave a lot of space. I don't think they have what's my man at the back that's rapid. They don't have him at the moment because he's injured again.
Van der Ven.
People are sleeping on cutting them some slack, you know. They have got hella injuries. Hella injuries. If you equate what they've got going on to the other teams, they've got their two main centre-backs injured, their first backup for centre back injured. A Dogie limped off today.
He limped off? Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine if you took away 3 or 4 centre backs from every team, like their main centre backs. You can't cope with that.
We saw what happened when we did that, bro. You saw what happened when we had that done to us, bro.
Exactly.
Midfielders had to go and play
any of the big teams, City, Arsenal, any of them. If you take away their 3 first-team defenders, that's a major, major issue. So I think it's a little bit of a liberty that no one's giving Tottenham a little bit of slack that they've got this many injuries at the moment.
Who played in their team today? Solanke, he's going to be a problem. Son, Maddison.
They're playing great at centre-back at the moment, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's who played at centre-back. And then the Dogie come off.
They've got no choice, bro. You know,
do you know the problem? That Forster guy, he's dead food, man.
Yeah, we've got to have some shots at Forster. We do.
Yeah, and then Jed Spen, he played today. Now they got a couple of man. Bergvall played in centre mid. Oh yeah, it was Finn got suspended, didn't he? Oh, what's his name? The other centre mid that normally plays with Salah, the one that we wanted, but he had that little case over. Basuma. Yeah.
Bentancur suspended. They've got some issues. They have.
How long is he? He's suspended for a minute still.
I think he's got about 3 games left of his suspension. I think.
Okay. Brandon Johnson came back. He limped off in their last game.
He limped off today as well.
Oh no, Pedro Porro came on. So wasn't he? Oh, okay. He obviously Spence played.
Yeah. Porro's their only fit first team defender at the moment.
So they got Richarlison. Well, we don't know when we played them in it. Basuma suspended. Bentancur suspended, Richarlison injured, Romero injured, Ben Davies injured, Vicario injured, and Van der Ven injured.
And there's a possibility that now Udogie's injured because he limped off today.
Easy game for my boy Mo then.
So, but I don't like when you play teams with all the injuries because for some reason it's like it galvanates them.
They're at home. We're away, right, for that one as well.
Yeah, it's at the Tottenham Stadium. I'm a little apprehensive about that one still, I'm not going to lie.
We need to win, bro. So
no, we do.
No if buts or maybe about that one. Because I don't think we get a third chance again in terms of like Arsenal dropping points again.
No, it's true.
Yeah, we have to win. And I don't even
third time is not the charm, boy. I'll tell you that much.
We have to make sure that by the time we play that game in hand, we are still 6 points ahead. We have to give us that buffer. We have to.
Imagine if we... I don't even want to imagine nothing, man. But listen, people, big up, man. 50, appreciate you jumping in, bro. G, as always, love for the love, man.
It's all good, bro.